What's up, everybody? This week in gaming, it's the Tokyo Game Show. PlayStation has a state of play, and we get Ghost of Yotei, Yodi Yodi.
Don't bury the lead, my guy.
And so much more. We're putting on Front Street. It's the thumbnail. People know why they're here. You want to hear us talk about that, all of that stuff and more, because this is the Nerd Cave News, and I am one of your hosts, Zach Dykes, joined by an astronaut that stepped onto a barren and silent planet. Amidst the crumbling ruins, something shimmered, a small, glowing crystal. The astronaut reached out and touched it, and a surge of warmth flooded through their body, filling their mind with visions of ancient civilizations and forgotten power. The crystal pulsed gently, and the astronaut realized it was more than just a relic. It was alive, waiting for someone worthy to unlock its hidden magic. That astronaut's name was Captain Orion Drake.
I like the vibes because it gives like Returnal meets Dead Space type vibes, in my opinion. So again, S tier exposition, and the name was solid. It wasn't as great as last week, I'll have to say, but you can't win them all, Zach. You can't win them all.
See, I think, Derek, you're going to have a fighting match when you get here this weekend, because I think Amy's going to knock you upside your head. Because you didn't give the dragon name last week. She was literally like, he didn't give my dragon name a higher name. And I was just like, I don't know.
Listen, Mom's been trying to beat sense into me for 34 years. If she can't do it, no one else can.
Clearly. Don't mean she ain't going to try.
I mean, I would be disappointed if she didn't.
So, Derek, where does Captain Orion Drake, you said exposition S tier, but where does the name rank? We must know.
I'm looking underneath the top 5. I'm looking at Nightshade. I'm looking at Aurelius Thorn. Looking at Sir Nigel the Unassuming. Rafael Torres, aka El Lobo.
Great names. I'm just going to say.
They are. And I feel like it's better. It's not. Is
it in the top 10, Derek?
It is in the top 10.
Okay. Who is it knocking out?
That's what I'm trying to think. And I'm going to probably have to, because it's between Nightshade and Aurelius Thorn. And I'm just like, it feels like it's better than Aurelius.
Really?
I feel like it's better than Aurelius Thorn.
Really?
But is it better than Nightshade? I don't know.
Huh.
I'm pulling the trigger. It's going below Nightshade at the new number 7.
New number 7, everybody. I'm having too much fun, everybody. This episode is brought to you by the Epic Game Store, where you can support us by using creator code NerdCave at checkout, and our wonderful patrons. But more about that later, everybody. We have Eat, Sleep, Animate this Saturday, September 28th. And the only place that you're going to be able to watch it is patreon.com/NerdCave. You'll be able to get it down the road way later, because, you know, that's just how it works.
AKA whenever Zach decides to edit it.
Yep. But the episode will be live at 11 o'clock a.m. Central Time. We're going to be together, Derek and I. We're going to be hanging
live.
Out.
We'll do it live.
In the same place, y'all. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it is going to be a fantastic episode, because I was talking to Amy. I was like, I don't think we've ever done Nerd Cave News in the same room before. And I know, like,
not in this iteration.
Not in this iteration. That's what I'm saying. But we haven't done Nerd Cave News in the same room. So this is the first version of like newer shows that we're going to be doing in person, because we did Nerd versus Nerd 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
now we're getting to do Eat Sleep Anime.
You know, that crown is heavy on my head.
But that burger was delicious.
Hey,
Does that mean
compensation? Listen.
Does that mean I get
peasant
Chick-fil-A this weekend?
It just might. I have to, you know, a Lannister always pays their debts.
Yeah. Well, get ready to pay up, buddy.
hey, you know, peasants get compensation prizes for when they don't win the crown. It's okay.
I don't think peasants get compensation prizes. They get higher taxes and beat. Like,
well,
you know.
This is a prize then, because it's neither one of those. You're getting fed.
Well, you know, I'm not going to make you feel bad tonight.
Like in the real world, I have to throw you a bone, so it raises my chances of getting reelected.
We're not going there tonight.
No,
we're not talking about politics. Derek's just barking up the trees, guys. They're barking up the trees. But
I started vacation, so yeah, like I'm on one today.
This dude starts vacation and he literally jumps on a minute before 7 o'clock. So, you know, let's just say Derek, he's really taking vacation to heart here. He's like, you know, I'm just gonna phone it in here. I'm gonna just wait till the last minute.
I'm gonna be like Peter Dinklage, just phone it in on the Ghost performance of Destiny 1.
I was like, is Derek dead? Like, what went on here? Did he fall in the toilet? I don't know how much he weighs. I don't know how much to dip out. Like, what's going on here?
Whoa. Now who's taking a weird turn? I at least kept it PG.
Well, I'm saying, I'm calling you poop, Derek. I'm calling you poop. Guys, come and join us. Eat Sleep Anime, 11 o'clock. Pick a tier that fits best for your budget and come and join us. All the support helps us a ton. And we'll talk more about Patreon. I do want to shout out everybody. Welcome to the show.
What's up, Michael?
Escape, Michael, Amy. Escape, you know, this will be the only anime talk we do here tonight. I recently started Dragon Ball and I'm working on rewatching them in order. Also made a workout regimen based on the characteristics of the show, which has been fun. That's really cool. That is really cool. I like it.
If you come to the show, if you come watch us on Saturday, I want to hear about this workout regimen because it sounds intriguing.
It does sound very intriguing. Derek, a lot has been going on this week, and we normally talk. Yes.
There hasn't been anything going on.
Well, you know, not everybody is in the lap of luxury. You know, they're, you know, waking up at 4 a.m. or anything like that. You know,
right?
Some people have to go to work, Derek. That's what I'm trying to say. But you
know, okay. How do you think I afforded my vacation, sir?
Some people still keep up with the news, so I don't know where you've been, Derek.
Under a rock,
Apparently so.
In your analogy, falling in the toilet.
Falling in the toilet. Don't know how much to dip out because I don't know how much you weigh.
Oh Lord!
Put that on a shirt, guys. So we normally do what you've been playing. We want to hear what you've been playing. Both of us have been playing Astrobot. Derek, I know you finished it.
Yeah.
And I want to talk more about that, but we've got so much to talk about tonight.
Yeah.
We've got TGS, we've got State of Play, we've got a ton of trailers that we're going to be watching, we're going to be reacting to. So I'm going to jump into that. We're going to skip what you've been playing because both of us been playing Astrobot.
We're gonna see more Astrobot later here in the show.
Definitely. So first up, and our first story of the gaming discussion, inside Annapurna Interactive's massive walkout includes internal politics, the surprise Remedy deal, and why it all happened.
So starting off, Annapurna Interactive's recent turmoil stems from a group resignation of 25 employees, including key leadership figures. This mass departure was the result of growing frustrations within the company over leadership decisions, poor communication, and a perceived lack of transparency. These issues date back to 2019 when the company's leadership structure began shifting under Megan Ellison, founder of Annapurna Pictures, and its focus on gaming began to increase. So the background and key players here, Annapurna, originally conceived as a gaming division of Annapurna Pictures, has been led by industry veterans like Nathan Gary, Deborah Mars, and Nathan Vella. However, tensions escalated in 2023 when the company started prioritizing gaming projects over its original film and TV endeavors. While Annapurna Interactive saw success with games like Stray, Outer Wilds, and What Remains of Edith Finch, internal struggles over leadership became more apparent. Megan Ellison's sporadic presence and leadership style contributed to the instability. A hands-off approach gave employees some freedom, but by early 2024, that dynamic began to change. In March, employees were shocked by the unexpected firing of James Massey, a key leader, followed by Nathan Gary's departure, which the company claims was voluntary. Confusion ensued when some employees believed both Massey and Gary had been fired, leading to protests and early resignations from the interactive division. The spin-off attempt. Ellison sought to address the unrest by attempting to form a new entity, Verset, which would have split from Annapurna. The goal was for Verset to manage existing projects under a new leadership structure while still maintaining ties to Annapurna. Discussions about the spin-off continued throughout the year, but skepticism grew within the staff as they noticed a lack of progress. In August, negotiations stalled, with Annapurna blaming Gary's lack of response, while the departing staff felt Annapurna was not truly committed to the idea. Further complications and walkout. Matters worsened in mid-23 when employees learned that Hector Sanchez, a former Interactive leader, had quietly been rehired by Ellison without the rest of the staff's knowledge. In August, Sanchez was officially named president of Interactive and new media of Annapurna, creating tension between him and Mars and Vela, who were supposed to lead the Interactive division. At the same time, Ellison's increased involvement in projects and budgets made the staff uncomfortable, prompting further concerns about the company's direction. By late August, the situation reached a breaking point. All 25 remaining members of the Interactive team, including Gary, Vela, Massey, and Mars, submitted a joint resignation letter citing dissatisfaction with management and the overall direction of the company. They departed on September 6th, leaving Annapurna's gaming efforts in disarray. Fallout and future. Following the mass resignation, Annapurna scrambled to manage the fallout. The company's leadership team, now consisting of Megan Ellison, Hector Sanchez, and the newly hired Paul Doyle, was left with around 40 projects at various stages of development. Despite the exodus, some developers expressed confidence in Sanchez's ability to fulfill obligations, and Annapurna had begun hiring new staff to fill the gaps left by the departing team. The long-term effects of this event are still unfolding. Developers working with Annapurna were only informed of the staff walkout days before it occurred, causing uncertainty about the future of their contracts. A few specific projects like Blade Runner 2033 Labyrinth have been impacted as all full-time team members, including the game's director, left the company. Despite this, Annapurna claims development will continue. Annapurna, known for publishing critically acclaimed indie games, is now a shadow of its former self. The creation of Verset, which was initially intended as a solution, may still be in the cards, but as of now, the company's future remains uncertain as it works to rebuild and regain stability. Woo! That's been that's a trek, man.
Yeah.
Definitely, it doesn't talk about the Remedy deal, but I'm sure that's what they tried to hold over, creating this Verset company to be a separate entity and just focus on game development. I'm sure the Remedy deal was part of that, but then when also it's hey, you're going to make Alan Wake movies and stuff like that, they were like, what? No, that's not what we signed up for either. Shouldn't the what was it? The the pictures division handle that.
Well, so just not to cut you off, but to clarify, go read everybody that's curious about this, the real nitty gritty. I know Derek just read a ton. Go read Rebecca Valentine's article over on IGN. It goes into much, much greater detail. So we talked a little bit in this, how things kind of shifted to a lot more focus was on the interactive game side of things. And then the Remedy deal was to try to kind of, bring it where it was more 50-50 between the movie side and interactive, because the games weren't making as much, but also Megan Ellison's dad had to get involved with Annapurna.
Daddy, they're not playing nice with me.
Yeah, they were losing money over on the movie side of things, so he had to step in and help with funding. But it's very interesting because, yes, they have 40 projects in here. In the article, which Rebecca Valentine did an amazing job on this article, she was talking about like how a lot of developers are still confident, which if I was a developer, I would be like looking for a new publisher. I would
Correct.
like this makes me very uncomfortable.
Like how Disney pulled out of the EA deal and was like, let's have anyone make Star Wars, not just you guys, because you're failing.
Yeah, exactly, because nobody is there. Hector Sanchez is like the only one really left there, and he is a Sony alum. He worked at Sony for a while, and he's got the reputation and all that to be able to get things done. But it's like when you've got one person. But again, we're in a very interesting time in the industry where there are a ton of developers that are out of work and that are looking for positions. So this is unfortunately a really good time for Annapurna Interactive to fill those positions and get their stuff going, because they do have some major projects that they're working on themselves. Blade Runner 2033 is one of them.
So, and I mean, like we've talked about, like I'm of the mindset, it's like if I'm going there, it's like, why did they, like, you know, when you find out why they resigned, like you don't blame them. And if I'm looking at it, like if I'm also speaking from a place where if I had a choice, I ain't going there, you know, willingly. But if the door's not really knocking and this is my only option, that I kind of have to just go in head first and just not worry about the noise for the time being and just try and put food on the table.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, do you want a job doing the thing that you're good at, making games, or do you want to have to get a job, you know, as I can't remember who said it, was like, just go do Uber. It was Sony exec. That's who it was. It was ex Sony.
From the UK. And I'm like,
So it's like, okay, you can do something, and hopefully, like the point where Megan Ellison kind of rubs me the wrong way. It's like she, like, especially during COVID, she disappeared. She was not involved, and Gary and Deborah were literally having to run the ship by themselves and make decisions. And clearly it worked because Outer Wilds was really good, and then Stray getting nominated. And I know some people are like, did it really deserve getting nominated for Game of the Year? But people
regardless, it was there.
It was there, and people like that game, and it sold pretty well. But then she comes back, and this is where things get rocky, because it's like, a lot of times there's a difference between leadership and being a boss. And it seemed very much like from this article and what we know. And again, this is from people that there were some Annapurna people talked about it. Some people that left that didn't want to be, labeled or anything because of reprisal. It's like when you come back in, things start falling apart.
Yeah,
that's an issue. It's like you're not being a leader, you're being a boss, and you're wanting to take control of everything, and you start firing key people. That's huge. And then secretly hiring somebody back on, because Hector Sanchez left in 2019 to go do something else, and then got hired back on to Annapurna and was secretly working on games that nobody in Interactive knew about.
Right. And that is also shady, because it's like, did something happen when he was there prior to why they would have to be hush hush about hiring him back, or would he be seen as a threat to basically like if he comes in, like, okay, because he came already into a leadership role when he came back, would it have stepped on the toes of people that would have been there in the trenches the last couple of years and been hoping to get this promotion and have been sold a bill of goods and was like, hey, we might really consider you for this position. And then it's like, all right, we got we found the golden child wants to come back. And he's got demands too. And it's like, all right, we're going to keep it hush hush, not to step on any toes. And then when the word got out, how many feathers did that ruffle?
Yeah, it sounds like Megan found somebody. And again, all of this is speculation and us kind of just throwing paint on the wall and seeing what sticks. But Megan finding somebody that she can work with, and that could be control. She felt like she could control. And it's like, all right, I'm going to put you in a position and we're going to subsequently get rid of key people so we can move you into this position, kind of like what you were saying. But it feels slimy to be like, oh, we're going to hire you. And, I'm just looking at the key, how things happened. This was a weird situation. I don't know if Versett is going to happen, but I know
probably not.
I know that they are looking, all the people that left, the 25 people that left Annapurna are looking to start something up themselves. Versett is potentially the name. It might not be tied to Annapurna or any deals, but only time will see. So. Z, are you talking about God of War Ragnarok? Did that just come out on PC?
Yeah, that came out last week.
Yeah. So you're good to go, Z, on that one, if that's what you meant. But yeah, all the best to them, because this is just a strange. Oh, Ghost of Yotai. Well, it depends on how Sony's release date goes.
Yeah. They've been trying to get better, I guess, with it, with like the disparage between console and PC. But again, it also depends on Sony.
Yeah. So it's supposed to be 2025, which I would assume, and we'll talk more about this later, but around July, I'm thinking for Yotai to come out on PlayStation, because July 17th was when the first one came out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking it'll be their summer game, but probably 6 months.
Yeah. Early 26 probably.
Yeah. Because they're not going to go day and date. Yeah. Oh yeah, the promo got me hyped as well, Z. 100%. It got me hyped so much. Well, Z, welcome to the Nerd Cave News. We hope that you're doing well tonight. And we're going to talk about more of Yotai in a little bit, but we're going to hit some Xbox announcement at TGS plus some other TGS news. First up, I was not expecting this, Derek, but My Hero Academia, one of our favorites, is coming to Overwatch 2, and we got a trailer for all of this. So let's check it out. All Might.
Deku.
I thought it was funny that Deku is Tracer.
It is fine now. Why? Because
I am here.
There we go. We got to have the voice line.
Right.
We got to have it. Joe's like, oh my goodness. So I think Uraka is the new healer that we got. I don't know who. Is Shigaraki Reaper? That's a good point. Or it might be, I don't remember his new name. Cole Carter. It used to be McCree.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why they made Tracer Deku. I guess because she can run fast.
Maybe.
I don't know. Derek, does this make you want to get back into Overwatch?
No, I was actually going to ask you that. Are you going to play Reinhardt All Might? This does nothing for me. And unfortunately, not to rain on anyone's parade. I know Joe seems to be excited about this, but I think they're just trying to make Overwatch relevant at this point. It hasn't been talked about in a very long time. And it hasn't had a significant update. So I feel like this is a way for them to be in the talks again, if only for a few weeks.
Yeah, I agree. Because we're in the midst of the new season, which is still ongoing right now. I do feel like it is a play to get people into Overwatch. Will I try this just to play as Reinhardt All Might? Maybe. If I wish they would have done Doomfist. Like, he's way more All Might than, like, yeah, I know Reinhardt's huge and everything, but United States of Smash, anybody?
Yeah.
Like, that fits way more.
Doomfist actually could have been all for one. I mean, one for all. So,
yeah.
no, yeah, all for one. So,
yeah.
Especially from the battle from season 3.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have liked to see a few more characters in there. I think we could have got Sue. I think we could have got a lot of cool characters in there. Yeah. Who would you have liked to see? Derek, who would have moved the needle for you on this?
Well, I wouldn't move the needle, but another idea I got was the rolling ball hamster could have been Principal Nezu.
Oh, that would have been really good.
Yeah.
That would have been really good. I think it's
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say what I would really like to see would have been Genji could have been Stain.
Yeah, I could see that. I was thinking of he's a hero, but he's like, he can like turn into like a needle essentially. Like he's got like blue and red. He's not like a super, super popular one.
Needle, but blue and red. I
I
don't remember.
My heroes. Let's see. Who would you made best genist? While
that one I don't know. Like you can't. It has to make sense for the Overwatch.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So I would have made it wouldn't have fit that well, but only because of the flight ability. I would have made Farah Nejire.
Yeah, that would have been perfect. Ed Shot was who I was thinking of.
Oh, the Nimpo guy.
Yep. Ed Shot would have been cool. Who would have been like? Could we have gotten an Endeavor? I think Endeavor would have been a cool one.
Yeah, I don't know who would have been him though, because there's not really a fire-based character from what I remember.
Yeah, Inasa could be Sigma.
I don't know who either.
Yorashi, like he's the one from the licensing exam.
Oh, yeah.
Because like Sigma does, like he like pulls everybody up and everything,
right?
And that was like one of his. Yeah. Mayuga, who's that? I'm trying to.
Mauga.
I don't know who that is. Yeah, I gotta remember. I don't remember names. Do you remember who that is?
Mm-mm.
I don't know either. I don't remember either. But yeah, okay. So we saw that.
Mm-hmm.
Z, we'll come back to your question later in the show. I'm not ignoring it. I started on my end so we can come back to it. But we want to keep focused on the trailers at the moment. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's the newest tank. See, I haven't played Overwatch in a long time. Next trailer we saw is We Love Katamari coming to the Xbox today, Derek, of all days.
Shadow drops. Several shadow drops.
転がす、巻き込む、大きくする。
Second time this month that's been in a video game.
Right.
Like, Katamari is a flippin' fever dream.
It
of a
is.
game. Why haven't you started rolling yet?
Masana.
Boom.
Thank you.
Now, Derek,
Mm-hmm.
have you ever played Katamari?
No, I played. I know I'm not making this up. At some demo at some Walmart, I don't remember which demo it was. This game was on there, or it was a demo somewhere that they had a Katamari, and I played it, and it was just weird. Like it was a simple concept, but it was just so out there in left field. And I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
And it's funny because you said it's the second appearance this month because he shows up as a collectible in Astrobot. So, and it's always been associated with PlayStation, and now it's all of a sudden it's like, hey, Xbox now. And so it good on Xbox because they've been trying to get more into the Japanese market and getting even niche popular games like this is a huge get for them.
Yeah.
They also got some other ones like the Mana and the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters today as well, which I'll mention in the quick hits. But it's good for them that they're doing this, and then also it's just overall good because I feel like I know Greg and them talked about Katamari a lot back in the day, on Beyond. And it's good to see that this is getting some love and people remember it as, hey, this was actually a good franchise. Let's try and see if it can reinvigorate the fan base. So, yeah, good for them. But I have not played a full-fledged Katamari game.
Yeah, I remember seeing it a ton on G4, and I'm like, I don't understand this. But hey, if it's on, is it on Game Pass or is it just Xbox?
Game Pass.
Okay, then I might try it just to see what it's about.
Yeah,
I'm always down for a little weird game. You know what I mean? Little weird game.
Because you're a weird fella.
I am weird,
In
but
a
you're
good
my
way.
friend, so you're even weirder.
Well,
You chose.
game recognized game.
Exactly. Speaking of game recognizing game, if you like Persona, you're going to love Metaphor ReFantasio, and it got a new trailer today as well.
At Lewis. Man, that can't believe they're on 35th anniversary.
I know, crazy. It's giving me
wow.
Catherine vibes with some of the animation.
Fair. Oh.
Bro, ripping
right.
his heart out. That looks dope.
Persona 5 already came out with the Take Your Heart edition.
The voice acting sounds really good.
Yeah. I mean, this is definitely an Atlas game because I don't understand a lot of what's going on, but it looks cool.
Same. Prologue demo available now.
Yeah.
Let's go. All right. So the music is super cool.
Right. Voice acting solid.
Voice acting solid, music, I think I just said that. My brain is all over the place. I'm reading comments. Escape says probably going to get this one. I wish I was into the Persona games.
Yeah.
And I know people are like, well, this isn't Persona. Like the people that made Persona, created it, left, and made this.
Yeah.
So
you can see it in that one slice where the battle system's going on. It's definitely Persona.
Yeah. It's Nintendo's over here suing people for
catching mechanics.
Mechanics and all of that. I'm like, Mm. But it looks cool for the people that love these kind of games. You're going to be eating. You're going to be eating good because also Persona 3 Reloaded is getting new DLC as well, or just got new DLC. So a ton to play in that universe. Speaking of some Japanese games, which we're all getting a lot of that from TGS this weekend, we got Bleach Rebirth of Souls getting a new trailer. Let's check it out.
You humans toss that word around like it's nothing of significance at all. As if it's something that you can hold in the palm of your hand. Can it be seen if I rip open this chest of yours? Or is the true heart elsewhere? If I crush your skull, will I find it in there? What is a heart? Be aware of your surroundings. Don't let your guard down for even an instant. In prison. Murcielago. Ichigo Kurosaki. Fire Getsuga.
It looks cool.
When does he get the chainsaws?
Wrong anime.
Don't worry. I'll teach you. Observe well. This is what true despair looks like.
Forgot the second one.
Get up. Come on. Get up. I will protect her.
Oh. He went, what is
Hollow.
Yeah, that I was gonna say he looked like a Digimon,
Yep.
the angel one. Like that looks like the angel one, you know what I'm talking about?
No, more like he looks like Devimon.
That one too. Nate says, I used to be heavy into Bleach. Probably not good for your health.
I was just about to say, like, it's probably not good to drink.
I need to watch the final arc they released a couple years ago. Now, I don't know anything about this. I've never watched Bleach. I don't know anything about it. Derek, does this hit or does this miss for you? Because I don't know what dude's got, why he's number 4. It's like, if you're number 4, then you ain't number 1. Either you're first or you're last. That's how I live my life, 1 mile at a time, ride or die. So,
well, Okiura has one of the most intriguing fights in the show, at least in the big part of Bleach. Up there with Grimjow and Aizen and all that kind of stuff. So it's an important fight. It was a good fight. Like the stage looked really cool. The little bit of Bleach that I remember that I watched growing up, I watched it as I could on Cartoon Network. I didn't ever watch it beginning to end. I don't know. Like it looks good. It looks like it's a true like telling of what the anime did, but I don't know. Like I need to see more. I didn't see a lot of gameplay. I just saw a lot of cutscene, man. Like, and obviously it was an important cutscene from the anime, but also it's just like I need to see a little bit more fighting mechanics. It'll need a little more substance in my life.
Yeah. To Nate's point, I don't know why they're making a game on an old storyline of Bleach, though.
Correct.
And I don't know either. Like, is this like one of those like, oh my God, I wish I could play this? Or is it like, this is a big moment, but it like, would this be like getting to play as Madara when he comes back? Is that this kind of moment?
Right. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what they're going for with that. That's the true question, because 1,000 Year Blood War's out and it reinvigorated all the Bleach fans. So why not strike when the iron's hot and make a game in that arc? I know it doesn't make sense because I know they've made Bleach games, but those were years ago and they haven't made anything relevant. So I don't know. I don't know what the process is behind going to Bleach. Maybe it's just like, hey, you like 1,000 Year Blood War, but never watched the original. Let's take you back and show you how we got here to these events. I don't know. That's the only thought process. I'm not saying it makes sense or any better sense, but it's a thing.
Nate says, not that big of a moment. It's big, but not Madara's coming back big. Okay. Yeah. I watched the trailer for Dragon Ball Daima. It looks pretty cool. And I think it would make a good game. So only time will tell. Derek, we're stopping the bleach and we're going to another hero shooter because they won't stop coming and they can't stop coming.
Right.
Fragpunk gets a closed beta in October and a new trailer. Let's check it out.
Fragpunk 是一款快节奏的5v5英雄射击游戏，在团队战术设计的基础上，独具创新地融入了卡牌系统，为玩家提供更多的策略性和随机性。
Randomness and obvious fun
比较偏公式化，那我们就想利用卡牌来让每
Okay, I remember this game now. We saw it and I thought it looked
本
pretty
次测试
cool.
中，我们总共带来了数十张新卡牌，比如一张可以让玩家进行蓄力跳，并在落地时影响周围的敌人。
鸟人这张卡牌可以让玩家获取在空中缓降和降低散射的能力，和跳跃达人搭配使用，
That's
可以获得
the
更久的
hey,
滞空
shoot me in
时
the
间。
head card.
我们的思路是给
Right.
对局带来更多的随机性和架枪的自由度。
说到强光手电这张卡的话，它的实际作用会类似于一个可控的闪光弹这样子的一个功能。
我们常见的射击游戏里的闪就是白，网上其实有很多的梗，你被闪了以后，你的屏幕全白，顺势二维码直接作为一个卡叫做护目镜，让闪光的持续时间和强度会减弱很多。
Interesting.
类似的卡牌组合与克制的例子还有很多，比如剑圣和龟背的组合，可以让玩家获得
Oh, that's cool. That's kind of like Genji's, like
趣味性的设计，带
Yeah.
给玩家更纯粹的快乐。
本次测试我们会带2名新英雄，他们的能力和设计理念呢都与环境相关。Sona 是一个以声音为核心的战场侦察兵，它可以利用声音元素进行侦察和隐蔽，帮助队友掩盖行动声响，提供关键支援。这使得 Sona 在团队中显得独特而具有战略意义。它的设计灵感来源于海洋生物在声音应用方面的卓越能力。此外，我们还很高兴推出另一位新英雄 Spider， 他能够带领
Spider-Man.
团队快速移动，布下致命陷阱，或者将敌人捕获到自己身边，以进行出其不意的斩杀。凭借其敏捷和神秘感 ，Spider 提供了令人兴奋的
It
游戏体
looks
验。
like Spider-Man
我
to
们相信
me.
这些新英雄
I mean,
不
that's
仅
fair,
会
you
多样化
can't-
玩家们的选择，也能提升
Can't
整个
argue
游
that
戏的
one.
动态性。
在接下来的 beta 测试中，我们会将测试范围扩大到欧洲、亚洲、拉美等更多地区，并积极听取玩家的建议。欢迎大家来体验我们的游戏，参与 beta 测试。
Okay. October 10th.
October 10th.
Got crossplay as well. How do you feel about it, Derek? Are you...
The card system looks intriguing. Now, of course, does all of them look promising? Like, no, like you were saying, like the instant headshot card, just like sitting up there floating. And I have a feeling they'll be either nixing that card or revamping that card for sure, or having at least a counter against instant headshots.
Yeah, like you might get like a buff or something.
Yeah.
Like when you're in the air. Like I think that would be the only way to get around that. Because like if you're floating and it's like a one headshot kind of game like Valorant or whatever, it's like who would want to use that card?
Correct. Especially like in competitive play.
Yeah, exactly. I think that the card system is interesting because it can make the gameplay very different because it's not just like hero shooter where it's just like the abilities of the hero. It's like you get some different things in there.
Right.
But to Escape's comment here, gotta say I'm sick of these like hero shooters in general, and I think we're at a point where it's like we just saw a hero shooter come out and
failed 2 weeks later,
utterly die. Like PlayStation literally slit its throat in front of everybody and watched it bleed out, like gurgling, and everybody's just like I can't transfix by it. So do you think this is going to hit, or is it they need? What do you think, Derek? Is this going to make it or not?
I don't know, because if this was before Concord, I'd say yeah, it has a chance. But now post Concord, I can't tell you. Like I feel like they truly believe in this, and I feel like it's not just pushing an agenda for the company. I feel like this is something they actually believe in, not something they kind of were all, for lack of a better, forced into. Like I know they started before the Sony acquisition and whatnot, but still, I feel like Sony forced them to change some things to fit their mold. But I don't know. Like, I hope it does well because, like I said, the card base, it is unique enough to where I feel like it could last a little longer. Now, will it last over a year? I don't think so.
Well, you want to hear something crazy about Concord? I saw a clip of Colin over at Colin's Last Stand talking that Concord cost $400 million to make.
It's in the PlayStation Quickies.
Oh,
yeah,
well.
No, you're good. But it's also, to doubly spoil your fun, apparently it's been debunked.
Maybe they're just trying to
cover up the fact. So
hide that. I don't know, dude. That
I believe it though. Like
I do too.
I'm kind of with you. Like, yeah, it says it's been debunked, but it's like, really? Are you sure about that? Because
sure about that?
You know, they said because the whole thing was like, no dev has that budget. I'm like, okay, maybe not 400 million, but maybe 200 million. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it was more of an egregious budget.
Well, they were working on it a long time before Sony came around, and Sony literally saying, this is the future. This is going to be like Star Wars for us.
Yeah.
That's literally what they said. And it's like, it didn't turn out that way.
Tax write-off.
Yeah. It's kind of like the Batgirl movie that just got canceled before it ever came out.
Correct.
Well, guys, we've got some more trailers. We hope that you're enjoying the show. If you are, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe while you're here. We chat about video games each and every week, and we want you to enjoy all of the awesome content that we bring you on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Saturday, we have an awesome show called Eat Sleep Anime that we're going to be doing live and in person at 11 a.m. Central Time over on patreon.com/nerdcave, because our wonderful patrons have supported us so well. So we want to reward all the people that support us there. So come and join us there. If you got a few bucks to toss, you can join us as well on Saturday. Now let's talk about Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. It got a new trailer, and it is time for us to check it out as well. I was not expecting that. Troy Baker's getting really good.
I know.
Konnichiwa and welcome to Machine Games. I'm Gert Gustafsson, game director on Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
And I'm Axel Torenius, creative director on The Great Circle, and thank you for joining us here in our motion capture studio in Uppsala.
Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is a first-person single-player adventure where you uncover one of history's greatest mysteries. Set in 1937, sinister forces are scouring the globe for the secret to an ancient power, and only one person can stop them.
LeBron James. I mean, Indiana Jones.
We are very
the
excited
lips
for our
almost
place
go
in Japan
together.
and around the world to get their hands on Indiana Jones and the Great Circle when it launches on Xbox, PC, and Game Pass on December 9th.
Thanks for tuning in to the Xbox digital broadcast at Tokyo Game Show, and we look forward to showing you more soon. Arigato gozaimasu.
Oh gosh. Real close to personal.
Boom.
There we go. Punching Nazis.
Slap him around.
Heck yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, buddy.
Indiana Jones and the Search for High A Flat. Okay, I like seeing that trailer, like seeing a little bit more gameplay, because we got a lot of dev talk and everything, but seeing a little bit more gameplay, getting me a little bit more excited about Indy.
Correct. So, and you know, with it being the end of the year is a perfect time because it'll be out. Like, yeah, it won't be in Game of the Year discussion this year, but that's beside the fact. Like, it'll be out in plenty of time to play, and like nothing, especially like again, not to spoil anything ahead of time, but Assassin's Creed got delayed out of November to February, so you've got that gap now. You got plenty of time to play it when it comes out in December to right before Assassin's Creed comes out, like the next big franchise or big game. Arguably, I mean, yes, I know we got Monster Hunter around that same time, but still, like it's plenty enough time for it to breathe and actually people to enjoy it.
Yeah, I think one being on Game Pass is huge.
Correct.
Also, let me just be honest. I don't think that indie would be up for like Game of the Year, even considerations.
True. And it won't be up for next year either because, you know, if Ghost of Yotei lives up to its hype, like it's
well, and it's like if it comes out, you know, at the tail end where it's not considered for that year, rarely do you get considered for the next year because there's so many games that come, and there is a lot.
Jedi Fallen Order was the most recent exception.
Yeah, but recency bias does have a big part to play in a lot of that as well. 2 comments I want to hit here. Escape says, I wish they do something with the young indie stuff more than this older indie, and I could see like maybe some DLC, like if it sells well enough, maybe we'll get some DLC, like get some adventures there. I think that would be fun. But I was not expecting indie to start speaking in Japanese. I don't know why, because this is Tokyo Game Show, because you know, so it's gonna be, you know, more catered to the Japanese audience. But I was not expecting. I was like, Nani?
I was expecting like when he started punching like Yoichi Tenkai, like domain expansion.
Yeah. Dr. Bio.
Dimension no Jutsu.
Z has a question. Is Indiana Jones an RPG or what? So I don't think there's going to be there might be RPG elements.
All games now have like some light RPG mechanics nowadays, to be fair, but at its core, I agree with you. It's not going to be an RPG. I think it's just going to be your standard action adventure with puzzle solving.
Yeah, I think it's going to be more like a first-person Tomb Raider, Nathan Drake, and then when like you're climbing something or swinging, that's when you're going to go third-person for those elements.
Like, you saw it like toward the end when he whipped up and he swung, it shot out to third-person for a brief moment.
Yeah, so definitely, again, to Derek's point, I think most things have some sort of RPG elements, but they're not like heavy what we would actually consider an RPG.
Not like Final Fantasy RPG.
Yeah. Escape said it kind of looks Tomb Raider-esque. Yep. 100%. 100%.
I mean, Tomb Raider was inspired by Indiana Jones, which Uncharted was inspired by Tomb Raider. So
yeah. I think it probably will be closer to Uncharted than Tomb Raider because of the brawling aspect that indie is compared to, like, yes, the newer Tomb Raiders had like the axe thing, like it had that, but she's not necessarily a brawler.
She never goes fisticuffs. Nathan Drake goes fisticuffs a lot.
Yeah, so I would say it's more Uncharted than it will be Tomb Raider on all of that. Awesome, man. Well, Z, I'm glad you guys gave me another game to look forward to. Dope. That's what we see. We're here to share games.
Exactly.
We're here to share games.
This is why we did the show, because we're appreciators of games.
100%. Now, this one I am excited for. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater opens the Xbox showcase, and I'm ready to eat some snake.
I don't think that's quite healthy for you.
It's like
drain the poison first.
No, man, you eat the poison gland as well. Trust me, I played Metal Gear Solid 3. Here we go. Let's check out the trailer.
Listen to me, Jack. Just because soldiers are on the same side right now.
This one's in English.
They always will be.
Makes no
Politics
sense.
determine who you face on the battlefield.
Is that why you abandoned me?
The only thing we can believe.
I'm glad we got the original actor.
Right.
Is the mission.
Your mission is to retrieve Dr. Sokolov. You mean the Soviets pulled out of Cuba just to get their hands on Sokolov?
That's right.
What the hell was he working on?
Bang!
Are you one of Vulcan's men?
No. I've come to escort you back to the other side of the Iron Curtain. That's what they were making you build?
Yes. The Shackleot.
A nuclear-equipped tank capable of operating solo.
If it is completed and the Colonel gets his hands on it, it will mean the end of the Cold War. And then the Age of Fear will truly begin.
A world war.
You got a little something on your face there, bud.
Oh.
The Ocelot never lets his prey escape.
Sokolov has been guarded by the KGB and
Finger guns.
Snake, it sounds like this.
All right.
Even hotter than Cuba.
Ocelot's cool. Like, look at that. How dope is that?
Right.
Sokolov is a little gift from my new hosts.
Are we taking him with us?
No, this one is still just a child.
Oh.
He has not yet found an emotion to carry into battle.
Girl.
If they are our enemies, they're still our countrymen.
But it won't be me that pulled the trigger.
Colonel!
It'll be our friend, the American defector.
Oh. All right.
They're putting a lot in this
People aren't
trailer,
the
which I
ones
know
who
this
dictate
game's
the
like super
missions.
old.
Then
Right.
who does?
The times.
They are changing.
Sorry I'm late.
All right.
Like you forget about like some of the things in this game, and then you're like, all right. Like the dude with bees, and then that. Yeah, like looks so good, man. I cannot wait to jump back into this, and with updated controls that are more modern. Please and thank you. Like I'm super stoked about it. Derek, I don't know, like I don't think we've ever really talked about Metal Gear. Like, are you like a Metal Gear player? Like,
never played a Metal Gear. I bought Phantom Pain in my GameStop days because it looked really cool.
Oh yeah.
Again, no shock. Never played it. Sits in my backlog. So, do I want to rectify it and play this Metal Gear like Snake Eater, since they're kind of like redoing it and it seems like start at the story from the beginning or whatever, like do like the actual timeline like of how it's told? Probably, but I've never played Metal Gear. I've watched some gameplay videos, saw a lot of trailers, and it looks really cool. Really cool concept. Just again, the idea, like the first couple I know were super hard because it's like you couldn't have been spotted, period.
Yeah.
Back in the day. So that would have old Derek would have failed that because he doesn't have patience for stealth only.
Yeah. I remember playing Metal Gear Solid 1, loved it. It was definitely difficult. Should not have been playing that game at my age. Should not have been playing that
There
game
was
at my
several
age.
games where you told me you played them. I'm like, really?
Yeah, definitely should not have played that at my age. But this one I'm super excited for because there's so much in like Snake Eater, and I think it's going to be really, really cool to be able to revisit it. Now the question is, do we get not Phantom Pain? Do we get Peace Walker, which is essentially the next part of the story? And then, because it goes Snake Eater, Peace Walker into Phantom Pain, the fourth
Ground
one.
Zeroes.
Yeah, Ground Zeroes.
Oh,
and
no,
then,
no, that was the prologue to Phantom Pain.
Yeah.
That, Guns of the Patriots was 4.
No, I meant Phantom Pain.
Oh, okay.
Phantom Pain is the next one. So Ground Zeroes, then Phantom Pain.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes into Metal Gear 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Which makes total sense, guys.
All
People
right.
complain about freaking George No. Derek Kojima's like, hold my beer.
I tell the story how I want to.
Yeah. So he says, I bought Phantom Pain 2 and still sitting on the shelf. I played a good bit of it. Like, This was also a time in my life where I would buy a game, I'd play it for a little bit, and then I'd go to the next one. Whatever the next big game was, that was like I would not finish games back then. So this next one is called Threads of Time. I saw Greg Miller post on Threads about this, and I haven't watched the trailer yet, so I wanted to jump in and see what this one is about.
I saw you long before your quest began, hero. I saw you before you threw open the doors of time and space and turned the world on its head. Let me show you a glimpse of what I saw.
All
right.
I think I know what I'm gonna play. To tide me over from Sea of Stars.
Stars, yeah.
That looks so cool. And we're going in forward in time?
Yeah.
Dude.
Oh, that's dope.
This looks so cool. Oh my gosh, this is so, yeah. And then the robot can fight as well without, floating pirate ships. I always like the mix of like
2D,
like, and then, yeah.
Prepare to remake history.
Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. Derek, thoughts?
It looks really cool. Now, will I try it? Is it a game for me? No. But does the action sequences and like the combat look really dope? It does. Like, especially like when it panned out and it's like, all right, side by side. Now let's pan out to behind the back and let's do these cool like combo moves. And like that the mechanics seem really sound.
Yeah, like I'm hoping that we get those elements in the actual game and that it's not just trailer based.
Right.
Because
it doesn't seem like it. It seems like it's authentic gameplay.
Yeah, because like I love Sea of Stars. If you've got an interesting story and a really cool gameplay mechanic, even if it's turn-based, like I'm not the biggest turn-based player. I used to avoid those games totally just because like, and I also think it's because I'm getting older. It's like I'd rather play something that gives me a little bit more time to think about it or whatever.
Right.
But this looks really cool. And having the different eras and like time, like all of that, like I love a good time travel.
Yeah.
In here. So
timey-wimey.
Yeah, timey-wimey. Give me that. Escape says, I'm wondering if this is like a tactics game. I think it's going to be kind of like, you know.
Yeah. It'll be light tactics.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah. Whoo. I still haven't made it through Octopath, but it gives me those vibes. I know.
Yeah, that's true.
Nate has been playing Octopath a lot. I need to jump into it, but let's see. When is Sea of Stars DLC? Do you remember?
I feel like it's now, or it's coming out like in a few days.
No, spring 2025.
Dang.
Yeah. So it's a while before we get some of that goodness. Z, we'll answer that afterwards. Once we get through all of this. Because Civ isn't on the dock, but we'll definitely answer that for sure. Next is a game that I saw a little bit on IG from IGN, and I was like, this looks dope. It's called Qiddiya, Qiddiya. How would you pronounce that, Derek?
Qiddiya?
Yeah.
Qiddiya? Yes, or yeah. Qiddiya, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. It looked super dope, and we're going to check it out, guys, right nowsies. Right.
Tonight,
okay,
we'll finally get to the top.
I like the smooth jazz. All right.
I wanted to change my lifestyle to be more like myself. Now we're chasing our dreams here in Kidia City.
Kidia.
Yeah.
This is my new home, where I'm free to live as who I want to be. By playing, we grow and create our future.
It's gonna be definitely like a
Bartender, add extra cinnamon.
Thanks.
MMO like.
Oh yeah, easily.
Looks amazing. I feel elite now. This is finally a place I can belong. At Kidia, the first city built for play.
Huh.
Like, it doesn't give you much. You know
No.
what I mean? But it does look pretty cool.
I smirked earlier and I was like, I wonder if this is the game Square Enix thought it would be when it released Foam Stars.
I don't know, maybe. It looks cool. I don't really know what the gameplay loop is. And I think this is from the Saudi Arabia like game development like conglomerate.
Yeah, I think so. Not Tencent.
No, not Tencent. They have like it's like the Saudi Arabia like I can't remember.
Yeah,
what it's
I know
called.
which. I can't think of the name now, obviously, but I know which one you're talking about.
Games Group. I'm looking it up. Savvy Games. That's what it's called.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think it's from them. I'm not 100% sure. Escape. I don't know. There is one game that is pretty much The Sims, but you can literally create a character that looks exactly like you. It was announced about a month or so ago. Like, some of the stuff that was shown was crazy.
It's going to have AI tech. Then they're going to take our likeness.
Well, what was crazy is like you could like if you had like a camera, you could talk and it would like animate like the mouth and everything.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like expressions, all of that.
Mm.
Yeah. Crazy stuff. And you know what would be even crazier? If you went right now and subscribed to the Nerd Cave News on podcast services around the globe. It doesn't matter where you're at. We're also on YouTube. This is a YouTube podcast as well. And YouTube is now the largest podcast service on the globe. It beat out Apple now, so it is the biggest one. So subscribe to us there. Make sure if you're over on Apple, give us 5 stars, because let me just be honest. If you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. All right? Because this y'all are our one and only marketing source for the show, is you, the people that are watching this right now. So if you like it, share it with people. Say, hey, these two dudes, they are weird and they like video games.
Thought we were 1.5.
Well, when we get to the business side, it's 1.5.
Oh, okay.
Z says 5 stars for Zach's voice alone. Thank you, Z. Appreciate that. So make sure to subscribe and on here for YouTube. It is much appreciated. It's time for the Sony ponies to ride.
Woo! Giddy up.
I need to make a sound effect, like have like something is like something for that. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
It's time for the PlayStation news. We have some state of play highlights, and the first one, and not the last one, is some Astrobot news. Astrobot DLC has been announced for this fall. Let's take a look.
Started off the state of play with this.
Mm-hmm.
I only have 8 more bots to collect, man. It's crazy.
Don't even. When I saw Helldivers, I was like, yeah!
I thought you were going to go ballistic. I was just like... Run levels.
Derek's favorite.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, that gives me anxiety.
Maybe we see Prince of Persia.
Ooh, that'd be good.
Stellar Blade.
Or Cell Divers.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, big thing is it's going to be free.
It's going to be free, which is super dope. I like it a ton. Okay, so there are going to be 10 new bots to collect. We saw Helldivers and Stellar Blade.
Right, that's at least half.
So do you think we get 4 Helldivers? Or do we get...
That's what it showed right at the beginning.
Yeah, do you think they go that way, though?
I hope not, but also because, like, spoiling just another thing, like if you haven't gotten, like, the things from Abe's Odyssey, you had to collect 3 of those. You had to collect 8 apes or a lot of apes from Ape Escape that were all pretty similar. You had to collect 3 or 4 different Hellghast, even though it was the same Hellghast. And then, I mean, you did have to collect some Patapon people, but those were actually different. They actually told you they were different. But some of these have, like, a lot of the bots. Well, I should say some of the bots have been repeats of the same type. So it wouldn't surprise me if they kept it the same with Helldivers.
Okay. Yeah, I could see it.
Because it's a whole 4-player squad thing. So it's like, we got to keep that, going. We can't just give you one Helldiver.
What would be cool, because that would be 4. Stellar Blade with her would be 5. Do you think we get other Stellar Blade characters to fill that out?
If so, I think we only get 1 more. I don't think we get, like, a whole lot, because while Stellar Blade is a popular game, like, it only shows that one character, the main character from the game.
Yeah.
Like,
what would be cool to see from Helldivers is that we get, like, one of the bugs and then one of the like automatons. I think that would be cool to see. You know, at least one of the enemy types in there would be awesome.
Yeah.
So that gets us up to maybe 6.
Yeah.
What, like, do you think the speedrun levels are going to have a bot included? Because there's 10 of those. No, there's
5 speedrun levels
of
and 10 bots. So you got to think on average, 2 bots a level.
Huh. Well, it made it look like Stellar Blade and Helldivers were levels in themselves. They weren't like speedrun levels.
Well, also it showed, maybe I'm looking too much into this, but like when you got to the final platform, you had a Helldivers guy tied to a rocket and Stellar Blade tied to a rocket. So it's like maybe you choose and then you repeat it to see if you can, like, to get the other one. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe it'll be like, because it's a speedrun level, it's like, hey, if you beat it in this time, you'll get this bot, and or like you'll either get both, or if you only complete it in a slower time, you only get 1.
Maybe. I don't like you said, you have 8 more bots to go in Astrobot, and we're going to move on to the next one here in just a second.
Yeah.
Are there any IPs that have not been touched by PlayStation that you would like to see? Like Prince of Persia, I remember being on the PlayStation, like Prince of Persia Sands of Time, so I'd like to see that on there.
I think they'll do the later one, like the most recent one, though.
Do you think? Like Lost Crown?
I think they ride that high, man. I mean, I could see them doing the Sands of Time as well, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Lost Crown got thrown in there just because it was the most recent one.
What if we get some Concord characters?
Bro, please don't.
Oh my God, that would be so bad. That would be so bad. Speaking of bad, but not in that kind of way, we got a trailer for The Midnight Walk. And if you're into spoopy and creepy, then this trailer, this is going to be your trailer right here. So let's take a look at The Midnight Walk.
This is the VR version of Uzumaki.
Listen to me, burnt one. If you're intending to walk the midnight walk, you better be sure to keep your spark safe and burning.
While I was in the black,
Lost in Random was apparently a really good game.
there was a monster.
It feels very like Coraline,
Wallace and Gromit.
and it is like handmade from clay.
Right.
That one right there just creeps me out.
Yeah.
Just the.
I smell you, boy.
You sure do got pretty lips.
Little soul, you charming little wanderer. Where are you off to now?
And so it was that the burnt one and a small flame took a wander down the midnight walk.
Now, I like a good indie game, and if I was more into like spoopy horror games, that would be on my
Radar?
list. Yeah,
What are you
Escape
talking
says.
about? Go ahead.
Escape says Little Nightmare versus Nightmare Before Christmas.
It's not a bad comparison.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Derek?
I was going to say, man, Resident Evil 7 is your favorite game of all time. What are you talking about?
Hey, I did like Resident Evil 7, but
not in VR.
No, because that thing made me sick, like
Right.
motion sick, you know. But if it was the PlayStation Virtual Reality 2 and the PlayStation Super Sampling, whatever it is, resolution, you know, I would have been fine. Now, this one, when I saw it, we were literally sitting on the couch. Amy says, okay, I am loving the animation. And maybe this is an Amy game. I don't know.
Maybe.
maybe I'll let her on this one. But we were sitting on the couch. I was like, hey, can I watch the State of Play while we have dinner? And she was like, yeah, sure, because she's an awesome wife. Y'all give it up for Amy right now, because she's awesome. So we're sitting there and I'm watching this. I was like, this feels a lot like Hitman. And then
surprise.
It was Hitman World of Assassination. I'm not reading off the thing right here. Yes, arrives in December, and it got a trailer which looks, it makes me want to play it in VR, but I'm not buying the headset. So let's check it out.
Give up the firearm!
Hey!
Hey! So anyway, I started firing.
I was literally about to say that. That's when you just cap the dude.
Right.
Oh, you missed the spot. Let me put some sunscreen back here. I like that the gestures work.
Right.
That's not just like.
Oh, man.
Let me just throw this stuff in there.
Right.
That's a big old thumb drive. Using the frying pan. Now, Derek, my question to you is, do you think this is only a PlayStation Virtual Reality 2 game?
Like, in terms of, like, will it come to consoles too, or in terms of it'll come to other VR headsets?
Other VR headsets. Do you think that this is like, because I was on Bo Knows Games Tuesday, and him and the Construct were like, no, this is totally going to be just exclusive. And I think because VR is such a niche place, you've got to spread the love.
Yeah, exactly. And that's my thing. If anything, it'll be a timed exclusive, like 3 months, 6 months max. And like with Meta being such a fantastic headset, like it's got to come to there. Like you're doing a disservice by not putting it on Meta. Like eventually.
Yeah, I agree. Like it's got to come over to the Oculus side of things. Like it's got to get on more headsets so more people get to play it and the development can make more money. And then we're talking about like there was a Hitman VR game that was awful. And I'm like, but I just VR is such a niche thing. And like if it was a first party studio, like if this was the people that made Call of the Mountain, no, it would not be coming over to other places. But this is not a first party studio or anything.
And I mean, the only reason I say it might be a timed exclusive is because PlayStation's had that relationship with Hitman before in the past. So I could see it being a timed one, but it's not going to be exclusively to VR2. There's just no way. Like it's like you said, like even if it wasn't a niche thing, like exclusivity, like with a few exceptions, is dying. Like like developers are now regardless of if there was inflation or not, game development is getting way too much expensive to make games now. So it's doing a disservice, but it's cutting them off at their knees. So they have to make that ROI cost back as in many ways as they can.
Yeah, and then you go one step further. Hitman does well, but it does not historically sell gangbusters.
No, it's not console sellers.
Yeah, it's like if you make a super niche game on a niche piece of hardware,
right?
Like the PlayStation Virtual Reality 2. And for the new people here, the uninitiated, I jokingly call it the PlayStation Virtual Reality 2 because of that's how they like listed it, and it annoys Derek. So that's why I say it for the people that are new here, like Z, and we're glad that you're here. So I don't want you to be like confused why you keep saying that. But like that's like 10 people. You know what I mean? That has the headset because it's so flipping expensive. So it's like I think they're going to put it on other things down the road. So
correct.
We saw another trailer from State of Play, and we kind of picked and choose some of the trailers on this one, but this one is called Hell Is Us, and it got a new game trailer. So let's check it out.
I'll take it back. This one is more like Uzumaki.
Yeah.
Happened, but I remember how I felt.
Hey kids, want to see a dead body?
Mom told us to hide when they came to our house. Then they took him away. Mother said I couldn't play outside anymore. Everyone had fled.
But you could play in the pit.
She said the country was sick, but we would be okay.
Where's Amicia? Yeah, there's a sickness.
Mother always said monsters didn't exist. I thought they lived under my bed. We were both wrong. They lived inside our heads.
It kind of was like a mix of Death Stranding meets The Division.
I was literally thinking Death Stranding and then like a Souls-like game. This was cool. I thought that was super dope.
Right.
Death Stranding, like Jedi with like the combat.
Right.
Because it feels a little bit more verticality and like movement based than like a Souls. The enemies look cool.
They do.
Kind of giving me a little Control vibe with some of the. And then, Kingdom Hearts. That's his Keyblade. Now, my question, Derek, I've flown drones for quite some time. I don't know how that drone's picking that dude up. That's a little bitty drone.
Right.
Like
in an apocalyptic age, you don't question. It just happens, man.
That's a small drone.
Right.
Like picking a grown man up.
I mean, I mean, it's in the far future. Jeff Bezos probably found a way to make it happen. You know, with all the
Maybe, Derek. You know, some people are like, Zach, there's literally like demons with holes in their bodies. You know,
and I say there's so much other unrealistic stuff, but that's the one you pinpoint on.
But it's like the one thing that they're trying to like ground it to is like, oh, you know, drones. It's like, yeah, I don't know a drone that can pick a grown man up that size.
Well, now it's Hell Is Us.
Yep, apparently. Escape says Senua's Saga or Senua's Sacrifice X Plague Tale. I could see some of that.
Yeah.
Now, Derek, my question before we move on: have you finished Requiem?
Bro, I haven't gone back to it yet, so no.
I called it.
Shut up.
You know, neither here nor there. The next one up that we saw from the State of Play got me a little excited. Looked pretty cool. It's called Arc Age, and we're going to check out the trailer. And I want to hear all your thoughts on this. Is this something that you would actually play?
So, how did it feel to learn the truth about the night?
This one feels like Plague Tale mixed with Witcher, mixed with Kingdom Come Deliverance.
You humans slaughtered each other until the whole world lay in ruins.
Plus, like Dragon's Dogma.
And yet,
yeah,
you have been granted another chance in Auroria. It must be the will of.
But this is totally like going to be like an MMO.
However, I still have no trust in your kind.
Like the combat
looks dope.
Yeah, and that right there makes it feel like The Witcher with like the spirits and everything. It gives me like vibes, but here is where it's like it's saying like online play required.
Yeah.
But that dude's like giving like a Hadouken over there. He's like spinning around like Dragon Ball Z.
If you survive this trial,
give him something like Bloodborne.
perhaps you might become one of us.
One of us. One of us. Derek, Arc Age Chronicles. What you feeling on this bad boy?
Very action heavy, and I missed it. But you know, when you pointed it out, watching this trailer through here, that's online play required. It kind of took the wind out of my sails. So I'm just like, no, don't do this, man. Come on. Like, it has such a cool concept and gameplay mechanic. Like, don't hinder it to a MMO or like a live service game.
Like, in a way, like, okay, I want to play a good MMO. Yeah, and it's been a long time, but it's also really hard to play an MMO when, like, you're this age. You know what I mean? It's like you got responsibilities, you got other things going on. It's just really difficult to be able to put that time on there. Escape says depends on how they play the campaign events and if I have internet at the time.
Fair.
Totally understand. Like, I think it looks cool. I would love to get into like a beta and see what it's like. But until that, I don't know if I'm putting hard-earned cash down on this game. If it's free, you know, I'll try it if it's free. I'll try it for free. Next up, Monster Hunter Wilds gets a release date and a new trailer.
Some meaty story elements.
That I imagined the whole thing. It's burned into my mind.
Yeah, when LeBron James destroyed his village.
Brother.
So, Captain,
leave that man alone.
What's your team been getting up to?
The guild gave special assignments to some of the other units from the expedition, mine included.
The cats are cute.
This forest is amazing.
That's Shinji from Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Something's causing the water currents to surge too.
He's like, not today, son.
We're intruders.
I thought this was super dope, like creating like a tidal wave.
Right.
So cool. And the difference in like
day and night,
or like when the weather's going on. That's a big mouth bass. And the verticality, that's super cool.
Foes ours. You respect.
Fire style.
I love the little cats.
They just put them
Meow.
down.
That's a big rooster.
Yeah,
Ugly
fire rooster. Shoots fire out of its butt. It's LeBron.
That's it. The White Wraith. It's real. Is that what we're after? The White Wraith.
Down there. Someone's in trouble.
It seems we must do a more thorough investigation.
That's never.
An extinct species.
You're a hunter. You've got
It's LeBron and Michael fighting it out for goat.
Oh my god. For the goat discussion.
Then Kobe just comes in. Oh yeah, the date. Maybe I want that.
Yeah. February 28th. I was like, okay, cool, Zach.
February 28th, everybody.
Pre-order today.
And looks great. And to Nate's point here, he's like, Monster Hunter's fun, but better with a group to play with. And
true.
Like, if there is a group of people to play, like, I'm down to try, like, and really get into it. Like it does look really fun though.
Right. And I mean, you could say like Monster Hunter, I think because they've evolved with it over the years, because it used to just be handhelds and Nintendo, that they held back. Like, yes, you could make the argument that's always been better as a team-based game.
Yeah.
But ever since they launched with Worlds, they've really gotten into the team aspect.
Yeah. And Worlds looked really cool, but it was at a time where I wasn't interested or anything. Amy said the cats are so cute and aggressive.
I mean, that's a cat to a T.
100%. Next up, everybody, we got some Alan Wake 2 getting an expansion. It's called the Lake House. Let's check it out.
I have to admit, when I first saw this
isn't the Bureau's first time.
And I heard the Bureau, I thought this was like a tease for Control 2.
Yeah, when they said that, I was like, but this is...
Set up a facility.
When it said the Lake House, I was like, this is Alan Wake.
If I had any clue what was waiting for us in there...
Death.
I just kept on
This is just LeBron.
Stop it!
LeBron from Space Jam 2. He's breathing so heavy, having to carry the franchise.
But now he's got his son there. Come on now.
Interesting. So, do you think I need to play
Control.
Like I've got it on my PlayStation download and ready and everything. Do you think we get the Bureau involved? Because I know the Control had a
Alan Wake DLC.
Yeah. Do you think we get that involved with Alan Wake this time around?
I think so, because I think Remedy is wanting this to have that connected universe between Alan Wake and Control. I think because they scratched the back of Control, that they're going to return the favor with Alan Wake 2. So I do think they want to push. I don't know how hard, but I do think they want to push at least the narrative that this is in a shared universe.
Yeah, I could see that. And we said scary. Yeah, I want to play Alan Wake 2, like really, really bad. But
shame.
What do you mean?
Shame. You were the biggest Alan Wake proponent and you haven't played 2.
Oh, sorry. I've been busy. Somebody hasn't finished 1, so don't even come at me. Don't even come at me, Derek.
I wallow in my gaming sin. I admit it in this
Apparently you do. Guys, let us know, what is one game that you are ashamed to admit that you have not played yet? Like,
or went back and finished.
Yeah, I don't have any.
I have too many. I'll lend you some.
Oh, guys, let's check out the pre-order trailer for Lego Horizon Adventures.
Let's go.
Whoa, look at those chompers. Okay, trail spots aren't cheap, so let's get started. A hunter with a mysterious past and her very heroic friends are all that stands in the way of an unspeakable evil. Join them as they explore, hunt, collect wacky outfits, and decorate their village. Nailed it. This is awesome. But wait, there's more. With the digital deluxe edition, you get this exciting blue roller thing. And snazzy costumes, like the Shadow Stalwart outfit. And this, I don't know
I like
what
how
that
it's the
is.
mascots.
That or that. Or when they're climbing in that cannon. But look how much fun they're having. Come and join the party in Mother's Heart. Phew, got it all in.
No, you didn't.
Oh, I forgot to mention the pre-order.
Now, I'm excited for Lego Horizons Adventure. It, like, they didn't say this here, but it is going to be coming to Switch as well.
Correct.
So you'll be able to play there and everything. Derek,
yeah,
like, are you ready to jump into this? Do you like? Where's your rating to 10? Like 10 being the most excited, 1 being Where are you at on that?
It's a nice 7.5 for me. Like, I am ready to get into a Lego game because I haven't in a very long time, and I just want to get more. And like, you slap Horizon on it, I'm there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I really like the Horizon franchise, but I also am wary of it because it's like everything we see seems like it's in the same like hub world, like and like it's almost like a huge base, and you just kind of venture out and like it's like sort of like, hey, this scenario is about to happen, solve it. So I wonder if like we'll get like an actual story or if it'll just be like base building.
I think it's going to be a retelling of the first one. Like with the kind of funny, like if they're putting so much like emphasis on the funny that Lego, like kind of like the Lego movies, it feels like way more of that than like original Lego games. So I feel like we're going to be getting more of that than, you know, what we've gotten in the past and everything. So for me, I'm about the same. Like, I think it's gonna be fun to explore and to you know, jump into, but I'm not like 100% like I've got to have this day one. I'm more excited about Echoes of Wisdom, which came out today
it's
on the
out now.
Switch. Way more excited about that than this, but still excited about it overall. The Construct, answer my question, what games that you're ashamed of that you never played or got to. Construct, welcome, my man. He said, I'm ashamed that I never bought a PlayStation 4 or 5, so the list is staggering.
Wow.
Tisk.
So many game of the years that you're missing, my guy.
Yeah, I know. Like the best console of all time. and then the next best console of all time.
Which
Would
one
you
is
put,
which?
Would you put 4 over 5? Because I would. Because the games on
I
4 are
would-
way better.
I would too, but I mean, you know, I mean, and it's also sad because while you did get Forbidden West and Ragnarok, and we're getting Ghost of Yotei, but I don't think Ghost of Yotei will be, but Forbidden West and Ragnarok also came to PS4, so that only bolsters their roster too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Like the list of games for PlayStation 4, way better than what we've gotten for the PlayStation 5. Like this feels like and I know it's like, oh, well, COVID, blah, blah, blah. But it's like this generation has felt like hurry up and wait. It feels much like being in the band of The Sound of the South. You know, hurry up and wait. We're going to be there 3 hours early. You're going to be in full kit, and you're going to
be 100 degrees.
Yeah, and the football team will show up 2 minutes before time, and then they'll walk past you. Don't even care about. Anyway,
Zach's
do I have a
salty.
soapbox? Maybe I do. Maybe I've got a large soapbox.
You have many soapboxes, sir.
I do, and one that I could build a tall neck off of is the Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered being announced. Is it worth it? We'll let you decide down in the comments below. And Escape also answered Horizon 2 is yet to be touched. You need to fix that. You need to fix that.
Rated T for teen.
Regardless of what version this is, like this game still looks so flipping good.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what's out there.
You know what's out there, Derek?
Vast reaches of wilderness.
LeBron James.
Untamed. Majestic.
He survived all those years.
It belongs to them. The machines.
Now, I want you to tell me, did they change the kid's face? Like, this
It looks
different, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks slightly different. It's almost like when they changed Peter's face from Spider-Man to the remastered version on PS5.
They also changed her model to match more of Forbidden West.
Yeah.
But yeah, the young one, it looks
no matter how skilled you
weird.
are, no matter how clever, you will become the hunted.
There's a threat to us all. Men in masks, raising up ancient machines. And I've seen their leader.
Kill her!
Kristen Freeman.
Aloy, what brings you to Meridian?
We need answers. For enduring.
You can use explosions.
Like,
He always does.
the models look so good.
Right.
And we're getting Frozen Wilds.
Yeah.
I don't remember that one.
The worm?
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Oh, no, it was in the base game.
I don't remember
The
that.
end. Or how it begins, anyway.
And then we get to hear from my boy.
There's so much more to discover before the world ends.
Silence.
Now, Derek, do you think that we need this?
Do we need it? No, but you also can make the case. Now, again, this was also in a world where let me break it down to you, right? Because the short of it is, no, I don't think we need it. But we also didn't need Last of Us Part 1 remade again. Yeah. But there was an idea that they did this around the time that Last of Us HBO show dropped to get the hype going, and it did its thing. It increased game sales.
Sold crazy.
And I'm sure they greenlit this because they had this Netflix Horizon series in the works, and then they canceled it like a month or so ago. But they already were doing the remastered, so it's like, we can't cancel this. So
yeah.
I think this was to coincide with the Horizon series or the Horizon Netflix series to gain hype for that. So Do we need it? Did we need it? No. Did Sony plan for this to, kind of tie it all together? Yes. I think that was more of the thought process than just saying like, hey, let's remake this again.
Yeah, because we got the PC version not too long ago.
Correct.
And then this, like, yeah, it does look pretty good. Like, I know some people are like, they're comparing some things about it or whatever online, but that's online people. They're always going to complain or whatever. I do agree. And I talked about literally what you brought up. It's crazy how we literally think very similarly about like the industry and everything. But I brought it up on Bono's Games, the same thing, that this was going to be the thing to go with sales, because again, they just put out Forbidden West on PC, and then this gets this up to date for the console. And one thing that we didn't show, or the thing didn't say, if you have if you have Horizon from the PS4, it's a $9.99 upgrade,
which is what they did for The Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2. And it's actually a steal because they just announced today that if you buy the complete edition on PS4, they raised the price. It's been $20 for the longest time. Now they shot it up to $40 on the PlayStation Network.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. But yeah, I like, this is one of the best games on the PS4. I would agree on that.
I was super hyped for it. I mean, I remember us watching the E3s, and every time that come up, I was like ecstatic for that game. So I still feel like in a vacuum, like I still remember it because I played the game twice now. I've only played Forbidden West once.
Yeah.
And I know we had the similar kind of a, thought process on Forbidden West, like with the story, like how it ended and all that kind of stuff. I need to go back and play Burning Shores. I haven't played the Burning Shores DLC, but I still feel like Horizon Zero Dawn is the better overall package than Forbidden West. Forbidden West improves on a lot of the gameplay mechanics, but I think story, world, and just originality of that is still the best.
Yeah. So to Z's question, he asked, never played Horizon. It's on my buy list, but I don't know. I think it's the same like most games around. Should I move it up on my list? Not knowing like what all you have played, and Z is a PC gamer, with all the drivers and all of that. We're not going to shame you here. The story is amazing. The story has really good twists and turns. There's a lot to do in the game. I feel like the game to buck ratio is well worth it.
For sure.
And that's kind of like how I think about it in this day and age. It's like, is my dollar being well spent on this game? Am I getting a lot of play out of it? The gameplay is amazing. The music is great. The character models are amazing. I highly suggest it. Again, I don't know what you've played and what you haven't played, but if you're looking for stellar story, this is like single player story. This is definitely one that you need to check out for sure.
And if you want it with some like unique gameplay style mechanics and like some unique enemies, like this is that too. And like, again, the idea was to, when it first came out, well, the way they were describing the story, like it was around the time like Last of Us Part 2 was being announced too. And it's like, oh, this is the first of us, like kind of thing. That's what the running joke at work was at the time when I was at GameStop. But I mean, it's just fantastic. It's just, I don't want to say it's an original thing, but it's definitely one of those like where it just feels like authentic, and it feels like it's not really touched a lot in terms of like how the gameplay, the enemy style. So it is done really well overall. So it's worth your dollar to, it's worth your time and your money to do it.
Yeah. And to Escape's point. It wasn't super bogged down with grind in each area in the map, had unique quest and story ties.
Yep.
Yeah, even like I'm not even saying just the main story, the side quest.
Yes.
Like they were really thought out. It wasn't just go fetch and do this. Like it felt like there was a lot to it.
Right.
And I know I didn't really feel like there was a grind in either of them, really. Like I felt like you can golden path this pretty easily if you wanted to. True. Or you could explore the world. So like, it doesn't feel like a lot of other games that don't respect your time.
Right.
So,
like Ubisoft.
Yeah, it's not a Ubisoft game. Okay, so last but not least on trailers tonight, we're just gonna skip this one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm about to say it's actually not important. It was actually, I don't know why PlayStation saved this for last on their state of play. It was utter trash.
Yeah, utter trash. But we got a nice little scrumptious trailer for Ghosts of Yotei. Is it Yotai? Yotei?
It's Yotei, because if it was Yotai, it'd be AI.
Okay, that's what I thought as well.
So, but yeah, dude, let me tell you just before we play this trailer, because I also pulled up a PlayStation blog post that gives a little bit more detail that we didn't get in the trailer about, because people are confused. Because when people show this, they're like, "What's going on?" Like I'm not gonna. We'll get into the trailer in just a moment, but it's like, wait, what kind of setting is this? Blah blah blah. Like, we'll answer that, but let me tell you, man. When they showed this, because I was giving up hope, because I was kind of surprised at the rumors of because when they said a lesser franchise was also getting remastered. I think the Legacy of Kain, that was I think that was the one, but it was like Days Gone, and when they didn't show that, I'm like, okay, cool, just let sleeping dogs lie dead. And then when we got, and I've given up hope, like at a state of play that we'll get a sequel to Ghost of Tsushima. And then when I saw this, like I saw it, and then all I did was see the setting, and I heard the English voice acting. I'm like, no way, no way. I was like John Bernthal, no. And I almost, because I know you, I didn't know if you were at work or not, and I almost wanted to call you. I'm like, Zach, get your computer right now. And then I just see the mask, and I'm like, bro. They did. I hollered. Like, I'm glad it wasn't at night, and I didn't have to risk waking up my neighbors, but I literally screamed. I was like, finally.
That's hilarious. Like, I was sitting on the couch again. Like I said, we were watching it during dinner, and the first thing that pops up, I was like, this is Ghost 2. And then I grabbed my phone.
My boy was ready.
And I literally recorded my reaction. I'll have to share that somewhere so y'all can see it, put it with the trailer or whatever. But man, I am super, super stoked with this. Did you want to read anything from the PlayStation blog before we jump into this bad boy?
Let's watch it first, because it'll make better sense when I read it.
Okay, here we go, guys. Here's the trailer for Ghost of Yotei.
And they hid it too, because they waited just before they showed that Sucker Punch logo too, boy. They wanted you in suspense.
Yeah, as soon as I saw this, I was like, this is Ghost.
Yeah, that shot, like I was like you, but then when I saw this shot, I'm like, oh, this is Ghost for sure.
Of Japan. People come north to disappear.
I love how it goes in the color right there. It's so
right.
Good.
I thought the wolf was talking at first.
Right.
I was like, maybe I'm wrong. This isn't Ghost.
And now, every Ronin here is after you.
All of Japan knows you are here. Or all of China knows you are here. And see, when I saw this, it threw me off, because I thought it was like, oh, it's going to be Rise of the Ronin DLC.
The hunter.
Like, watch your mouth, boy.
I love the wolf guard on the katana.
So dope. And then if you needed to remove all doubt, the wind coming in shows that it's definitely Ghost.
Music giving me a little Redemption vibe.
Right.
It looks so good. It looks
does,
so good.
And then of course they confirm with the sucker punch. They knew what they were doing. They're like, we know you've been waiting.
This shot right here.
That's the money shot, bro. And that too, man, that's the money shot.
And she's got like a zither on her back.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we'll get, instead of like haikus, we'll get some zither time.
Probably. And then, of course, the natural Ghost fashion, the color palette.
I love marking off the names. Like, I think that is super cool. It gives me kind of like Afro Samurai
Kill
slight
Bill
vibe. Yeah.
And then the dual-wielding swords, man, that's going to be dope. I wonder if you'll be able to have animal companions in this one, other than your horse.
Possibly.
Like, fight alongside you.
I'm wondering if they're replacing the foxes with the wolves.
Ooh, good point.
Boom, baby. So good.
And the fact that we got a release year, like I was like, okay, my just thought process when I just like after watching it was because when it said Yota, because we all were expecting Ghost of Tsushima 2 or just like Ghost 2, right? And when it said Yote, my first thought process was, is this going to be like a Miles Morales, like a smaller experience? But then I'm like, when they showed the date, I was just like, no, they're not going to wait 5 years to do a smaller experience. This is a full-fledged sequel. And then the blog post, which I'll read here in a minute, confirms that it's a full-fledged sequel. But then when I saw release, like my thought process was because we've been talking about getting a sequel for so long that I was at the point where I don't care. Just confirm that it's real. If you don't give me a date, that's fine. That'll be my next thing to complain about, but at least just confirm that it's actually a thing and in development. But then when we got a release year, I almost lost it, man. I was just like, next year, let's flip and go, baby.
Yeah, well, and it's crazy because PlayStation has been like, hey, we're not putting any major titles out until 2025. And I think this is the first major title that we're going to be getting in 2025. And I'm excited because we did get a very sizable DLC with Ghost of Tsushima, with Iki Island, which was amazing. Did you ever get around to playing Iki?
No, I never did.
Boy, you gotta fix that. Another sin. Shame. Shame. Everybody shame Derek in the chat. Put 5s for shame down in the chat right now.
Here we
Iki
go.
Island is amazing, dude. Like, it is so flipping good.
You know what's funny? And I just remembered this. Monday I was off, right?
Yeah.
Obviously the State of Play aired Tuesday. I was off Monday. I'd completed another galaxy in Astrobot, got all the bots for that, and I was just flipping around. I was like, all right, I need to decompress because if I play it, my blood pressure's already high. I need to play it. And I was scrolling through my trophy list, just seeing it's like, oh, you know what? I need to go back and, Platinum God of War, see if I can get the Platinum for both Horizon games, yada, yada. And then I scrolled down, and I forgot I had got the Ghost of Tsushima director's cut for the PS5 with all the DLC and stuff. And I'm like, man, like unprompted, because first of all, the fact that there was no leaks ahead of time when we got the Horizon remastered leaks like galore leading up to this State of Play, impressive. But just unabashedly, I was just like, I need to go back and play Ghost. Like maybe I should uninstall Outlaws and just re-download Ghost. And then when I saw the trailer, I'm like, it was a sign. Future me said, you need to go back and re-download Ghost of Tsushima and play it on get it in gorgeous graphics on the PS5. And this was just further confirmation. It's like, prep yourself. Let's go.
Now, my question, Derek, is, do I go back in? I go back in?
Why is that a question? It's your game of the every year, brother. Like,
true.
Like, we both need to just go back and just play through it now. Now, whether, again, being 2025, I feel like if it was, obviously, let's just go ahead and throw this out here. Let's just go ahead and throw this out in the open. It's not going to be first quarter of the year. Because if that was the case, they would have already given that date. Like, especially when Dynasty Warriors Origins got a January release date. Monster Hunter Wilds got a February release date.
Yep.
They would have already gone ahead and given a date if it was first quarter of the year. I'm with you, but I've also heard rumblings that it could be their big fall game. But I'm kind of with you. I think they want to make it their summer game.
Yeah.
So somewhere between that June and August range, like maybe even September, because there's been a lot of games that come out in September. But, you know, Spider-Man 2 came out in October and did really well.
Yeah.
So it could be I could see it being a fall game too, but it's not going to be early 2025. So you got to think halfway through the year. But yeah, man, like, so my question is like, obviously it's a dumb moment. We're going to go play through Ghost on the PS5 again and I'm going to play the Iki Island DLC for the first time. My question is like, when do I start? Because now, of course, after seeing that trailer, I kind of want to go ahead and just start downloading it and playing it now because I'm on vacation this week. But also part of me is just like, should I wait till the beginning of the year and just let it slow burn and just get me, like, increase my hype levels for when it does come out? You know what I mean?
I don't know. It's like, okay, you've got the hype now.
Yeah.
Plus, it's like, think about how long the game is. Plus, Iki Island, which is a very sizable amount of gameplay. Like,
and my schedule,
your schedule and everything. I think starting either, I would say like mid-November.
Yeah.
Would be a good time to start at the latest or now.
Yeah.
Like that's my thought, just because, like, I know your schedule. It's like you also got anime to watch, bro. Like, you got to think about that. You got anime to watch. So
I think you just stealed it. I think I'm going to download. I think I'll download it.
Derek's bringing his PlayStation 5 down here. I'm like, hey man, can I play some Ghosts? I'm like, just don't wake me up.
It's like, right. It's like, hey man, good to see you. I'm just gonna be playing Ghosts the whole weekend. Like,
yeah, we don't even get to do Eat Sleep Anime because Derek's playing Ghosts, y'all. Oh man,
my Eat Sleep Anime is gonna be Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah. So I know you were saying, you know, mid to, you know, fall. I don't think it's a winter 2025 release because PlayStation has got to get something out as soon as possible because people want a good game. And I love Astrobot. I think Astrobot has been a phenomenal game, but it is not one of their, you know, like, yes, it is the mascot for PlayStation.
Right.
But it is not one of those things that sell consoles.
No.
Helldivers was amazing, but it is also one of those games that don't necessarily sell consoles.
Even though it could be arguably under discussion for Game of the Year.
Yeah, and I think maybe Helldivers 3 could be down the road.
Right.
But this is something that they need to get people to buy a PlayStation 5 Pro, buy more PlayStation 5s in general, because the amount of sales have gone down because there's been nothing to play. So they got to have something, because this year has only been smaller titles. There hasn't been anything in 2024 for PlayStation, really, other than smaller titles.
Oh, just throwing this out here too, because again, I am in agreement with you that we did not need this, but seeing Horizon Zero Dawn again, I'm going to have to play through it a third time, brother. I'm sorry, like so I'm gonna have to probably we're playing that, another long RPG game with Ghost of Tsushima. You might want to start downloading Ghost of Tsushima tonight when I'm done here.
Well, the thing is, Derek, you don't have like a time limit on Horizon. You can come back to that anytime.
Yeah. True.
You know what I mean? So it's like you get the updated one and then all of that. To escape books saying the PS5 version, I'm pretty sure when I jumped to the PS5, I turned on the game and then all the trophies popped for me. So, you know, just if you've already got the trophy, I'm quite sure that they did. So you could just pop all of them by turning it on. So, Derek, with all that being said, I am excited for that. I know you got a little bit of a blog article that you wanted to read for Ghost, so we can get a little bit more information. So, hit me with it.
So obviously, different protagonists, and because I don't remember the year that we played Tsushima, but the time frame seemed different, but I didn't know it was this different. So just to get a little bit more out here, of course, starting off today, we are happy to announce Ghost of Yotei, the latest game from Sucker Punch, and our new hero Atsu. When we set out to make a new Ghost game, we wanted to maintain the core pillars established in Tsushima, playing as a wandering warrior in feudal Japan, offering freedom to explore at your own pace, and highlighting the beauty of the world. All were represented in this trailer, by the way. We also wanted to continue to innovate, to create something fresh but familiar. We looked beyond Jin Sakai's story and the island of Tsushima, and shifted our focus to the idea of the ghost instead. At Sucker Punch, we love origin stories, and we wanted to explore what it could mean to have a new hero wearing a ghost mask and uncovering a new legend. This led us to Ghost of Yotei, a new protagonist, a new story to unfold, in a new region of Japan to explore. While we aren't diving into story specifics yet, we can reveal that Atsu's journey takes place in 1603, more than 300 years after the events of Tsushima. Our story is set in the land surrounding Mount Yotei, a towering peak in the heart of Ezo, an area of Japan known as Hokkaido in present day. In 1603, this area was outside the rule of Japan and filled with sprawling grasslands, snowy tundras, and unexpected dangers. It's a far cry from the organized samurai clans who lived in Tsushima, and it's the setting of an original story we can't wait to tell. This is also Sucker Punch's first game built from the ground up for PlayStation 5, and we're excited to build on the visual foundation we established in Tsushima by making the world feel even more real. We have massive sight lines that let you look far across the environment, whole new skies featuring twinkling stars and auroras, even more believable movement from wind and on grass and vegetation, and more improvements we'll share in the future. Our new setting also gives us the opportunity to introduce new mechanics, gameplay improvements, and even new weapons. So, and then it's just basically like, thank you, we're proud to share, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah. So, 300 years after Tsushima, that is crazy. Rest in peace, Jin Sakai, first of all. But also, I am not mad. Like, when, again, we first saw it, my first thought when I saw this is like, oh, this is Jin's daughter. Like I feel like because I first thought like the old man she was talking to kind of looked like Jin a little bit, and I thought this was like old Jin talking to his daughter, and basically like, I didn't want this for you. Like, now you're in this. Now you're taking up my mantle. Like, are you proud of yourself? Is this what you wanted? And then she just straight up murked him. I'm like, okay, maybe it's not Jin. And
Yeah.
but to say 300 years after this, I'm okay with this, the setting, because I like the idea, because I know a lot of the franchises, like with Horizon, with Last of Us, with God of War, we get fixated on these one or two characters, and then we just want to continue on their journey. But then with a lot of times they get shoehorned into this story without, and it feels like they're constricted to this like setting a lot of the times. With them being 300 years in advance, a new setting and a new character, and then like going from like, hey, let's just not tell stories about a certain character. Let's tell a story about the legend of the ghost. I think is unique. I don't want to say it's original, but I think it is unique. It's not done enough, in my opinion, and I kind of like it, and I'm intrigued to see how they do this.
Yeah, I like you bring a lot of great points to it, because I think going back to Jin would have worked really well, because he became essentially an opposition to the Shogun.
Right.
Like that. I think that could have explored a lot of cool things to cover and everything. And maybe we get that later on. Maybe we get some lore in the game about Jin.
True.
There's a lot of different options, but jumping ahead, you also introduce, like we saw, guns in this. You get a lot of different combat techniques because of the jump ahead, and you're getting to explore more of Japan, because I didn't know anything about Tsushima before the game.
Same.
And it's like, now we're getting a new region and a different time, and we're getting to experience a different culture, which I think is absolutely amazing. And
the fact that it wasn't like, it's pretty much like how the United States was before we bought stuff past the Mason-Dixon line,
Yeah.
The fact that that this was out of the reach of Japan, it wasn't part of Japan at this time. It's like pretty much like uncharted territory is really cool.
Well, and it makes more sense, having that piece of information is like, we're beyond Japan. It's like, okay, but this is part of Japan, like in today.
No.
But it's back then it wasn't. So I think that's super, super cool. Escape says, I hope there's still a big historical tie-in with this one. And
I feel like there will be.
Like with Ghost of Tsushima, like they literally have been celebrated by Tsushima itself, and I think Sucker Punch is going to do it justice once again. And
again, like they took 5 years because I think they actually went to Tsushima and like did their research and talked to people who lived, who lived or had people who lived during that time. And I think they're going to take the same love and care with Yotei. I feel like they went to that region because now it's known as Hokkaido, and like they went there and they're like, hey, what was it like? Tell us your stories. Like, let us see like what was going on during that.
Yeah. What's the lore? Like, I don't know if they did this for Tsushima because I didn't play with the Japanese voice actors, but like having even like the dialect of that region would be super cool.
Fair.
Like, how they would pronounce stuff. Because if it's something that was made in the South, you'd want somebody, to sound Southern or whatever. But
boy,
it's all perfectly legal. Escape also says, I wonder who the new enemy is. Is it the Shinsengumi?
Oh, that'd be cool because we just watched. I just finished the 2023 version of Rurouni Kenshin, and I'm just like, that would be cool.
Yeah, I'm almost at the end. We'll be talking about it on Saturday, guys. I don't want to get off on that. So many awesome things that we can jump into more and more on. We still got a little bit of the show, and then I've got so far I've got 3 starred questions that I want to answer here, but let's jump into the PlayStation quickies.
All right, first up, the PS5 is reportedly outselling the Series X and S by a ratio of 3-1. Sony unveils PlayStation 30th Anniversary Collection, which includes a PS5 Digital Edition, PS5 Pro, DualSense, and more. And by the way, it's already sold out. Like pre-orders went up today. It's sold out. The PS5 Pro, the 30th Anniversary Edition, saw it, $1,000. No, thank you. Insane.
Well, it comes with the console and an Edge controller, so
still too much.
With that, I don't know if you have this in the quick hits. Everything's been like pretty much scalped, and the consoles are on eBay for $3,000 now. I
saw that right before I jumped on. Yeah. I didn't include it, but I'm just like, doesn't surprise me.
Yeah,
this is the world we live in now. PS5 Slim 30th Anniversary bundle price reportedly set at $500, which was confirmed also. Rumor, PlayStation 6 has 2 SoCs in development, meaning 2 consoles could be coming next gen. So probably a one with a disc and without a disc drive, just like the PS5. PS5 Pro reportedly took about 2.5 years to develop. Piggybacking off of that, Sony breaks down the PS5 Pro's tech and reveals that it was in the works before the PS5 even released. 3 new DualSense controller colors and PS5 cover plates announced, which are known as the Chroma Collection, which is in Chroma, Indigo, Pearl, and Teal. The PS5 free games for October have been revealed. This month for October, you get WWE 2K24 for the PS5 and PS4, Dead Space Remake for the PS5, and Doki Doki Literature Club for the PS5 and PS4. Louisiana film company Stellar Blade, with no space in between it, is suing Shift Up and PlayStation over the game named Stellar Blade with a space in between it. Everyone's suing everybody the last couple of weeks, it seems like. Power World is now out for the PlayStation 5. However, the release for PS5 has been held indefinitely in Japan. Wonder why? Not like there's a lawsuit going on there or anything. With another Japanese company. Metro Awakening VR gets a release date of November 7th. Firewalk Studios is reportedly, quote, in limbo following Concord shutdown while Sony decides what to do, and while game director Ryan Ellis has stepped down. And as we talked about earlier, Concord reportedly cost $400 million to make and was internally believed to be the future of PlayStation. However, following that, apparently the budget has been claimed seemingly to be debunked, quote, saying no game has that dev budget. Whether it's true or not, the truth will come out. Jason Schreier, get on it, my guy. Star Wars Jedi Survivor PS4 hits 60 FPS on PS5 much more consistently in backwards compatibility than the native PS5 version. Silent Hill 2 Remake will be a PS5 console exclusive until October of next year. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic Remake still coming as Saber Interactive secures new investments. Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered on the PS5 is compatible with your old Horizon PS4 saves. The Ghost of Yotei dev confirms, quote, at least one movie and other spin-offs are in the pipeline for the franchise. So like with God of War, Horizon originally, Gran Turismo, Last of Us, they're kind of just going with that flow. God of War, speaking of Ragnarok, God of War Ragnarok on PS5 and PS4 will receive PC gameplay customization settings soon. Ragnarok finally is adding an option to tone down puzzle hints, but only on the PC for now. Ragnarok on the PC hits nearly 23,000 concurrent users on Steam. Ragnarok launches to mixed Steam user reviews, with most complaining about the PlayStation Network account requirement. And lastly, Ragnarok on the PC mod removes the PSN requirement. So I don't know if it's an official thing, but I think it's just like whoever wants to download the mod to get rid of that.
I think people are just complaining. Like,
right. Water's wet.
If you play on PC and you're playing Call of Duty, you're gonna have to have a Battle.net account,
right?
Like you know what I mean. Like there's got to be something that ties it to it. And Ragnarok, it's like, okay, it's not doing what Helldivers did. I think Sony's also getting hit with what they did with Helldivers over and over again, where it was like months going by and then it was like, oh, now you got to use it. So I think people are just always going to be ticked off with PlayStation doing it. So
right.
It is what it is. But yeah, I agree with Z. The Ghost movie does sound pretty dope. I hope they bring the actor who played Jin in.
Oh, please.
That would be super cool. That would be so good. Because he's actually like, IRL actor and everything.
Right.
Guys, I'm excited because it's time for the Patreon Quick Hits. The Patreon Quick Hits are brought to you by our wonderful patrons. Go and support us over on patreon.com by getting your very own Nerd Cave membership to help us continue to make awesome shows just like this one. And our awesome Eat Sleep Anime, our streams that we do on Tuesday night, all of that good stuff is made possible by you. This is a 1.5 person company. All right. 1.5 person company. And your support by watching, sharing, and going over to patreon.com/nerdcave and supporting us helps keep the lights and mics on. So become part of the ship, part of the crew, and make it happen over at patreon.com/nerdcave. It is time for the Patreon Quick Hits.
Starting off, new Battlefield reportedly set between 2027 and 2030, with 45 weapons and 10 multiplayer maps planned for launch. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 Season 6 is live, brings drive-thru map, Kostoff LSW, and The Walking Dead's Daryl Dixon. Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2 dev outlines future patches, includes adjustments to AI bots, campaign, and connectivity issues. Liza P Studio looks to, quote, do better on what we did well for DLC and sequel. Devil May Cry anime launches on Netflix in April. Tomb Raider, The Legend of Lara Croft hits Netflix on October 10th and is set after the Survivor trilogy. Splinter Cell Deathwatch teaser reveals Liev Schreiber's as Sam Fisher. Netflix confirms a new Cyberpunk animated project with CD Projekt Red is on the way. Netflix teases Magic the Gathering fans with a single shot of its upcoming animated series. Arcane Season 2 release dates revealed to be in 3 acts, with Act 1 releasing November 9th, Act 2 on November 16th, and Act 3 on November 23rd. Netflix reveals first trailer for the Rebel Moon video game spinoff. Garo Majima is back in spinoff game Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. Following that, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii is roughly 1.3 to 1.5 times larger than the man who erased his name. BioWare game director says there are no plans for Dragon Age the Veilguard DLC right now. Nintendo vs. Pal World, quote, killer patent may be about the mechanic of catching Pokemon. This Is Fine dog creator working on video games starring the beloved meme. Xbox Ambassadors program will soon shutter after more than 13 years. GTA 5 loses Steam Deck verification as Rockstar claims Valve's handheld does not support anti-cheating tech. After 22 years and 18 games, Kingdom Hearts 4 will move the story towards its end. Rumor, multiplayer title Assassin's Creed Invictus takes inspiration from Fall Guys. Persona 6 reportedly due for the Game Awards reveal, with release coming in summer of next year. Beloved Skyrim grandma retires from making gameplay videos at 88 years old. Steam breaks its record for PC players online once again. Stardew Valley console and mobile 1.6 update finally sets a release date for November 4th. Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2 has done so well, Saber Interactive is working on ideas for DLC and a sequel. The Wonderful 101 trademark has been acquired by Platinum Games, so they took it from Nintendo. Don't Nod is reassessing its portfolio after Jusant and Banisher's Ghosts of New Eden sold below expectations. Baldur's Gate 3 mod cuts turn-based combat and makes everything real-time. Minecraft players have built a staggering 1-to-1 recreation of New York City. Predator Hunting Grounds coming to PS5 and Series X and S on October 1st, so that's just a few days from now. Capcom launches survey asking fans if they want more deluxe remasters. New Street Fighter VI update adds Terry DLC and replay takeover. Assassin's Creed Shadows seasons won't negatively impact gameplay, but animations may change based on terrain. Heihachi Mishima is back stronger than ever in his epic Tekken 8 trailer, which releases on October 3rd alongside a new stage. Behavior Interactive has acquired Darkest Dungeon studio Red Hook. Ubisoft pulls out of Tokyo Game Show and reportedly cancels press previews, mainly because Assassin's Creed Shadows has been delayed to February 14th. It was supposed to be November 15th. Now it's February 14th. Because of the next one, Ubisoft confirms Star Wars Outlaws sales proved softer than expected. So you got to think one is coincided with the other. Star Wars Outlaws DLC featuring Lando arrives on November 21st, and Ubisoft promises more quality of life changes coming. Ubisoft returning to day one Steam releases, starting with Assassin's Creed Shadows. The Ubisoft's board of directors will investigate and review the company to find a way out of its current slump. Good luck. Hood Outlaws and Legends is being shut down and will be unplayable by February. Monster Hunter Wilds Ultra Collector's Edition costs nearly $1,300 and comes with a bike. MetaQuest 3S has been announced, which is a cheaper VR/MR headset launching on October 15th. Metaphor ReFantazio prologue demo is out now, as we saw in the trailer. SAG after strikes League of Legends over alleged, quote, flagrant violation of labor laws. Frostpunk 2 hits 350,000 copies sold, which is enough for the dev to break even, but not enough to prevent a share price collapse. Blizzard co-founder Mike Morhaime reportedly left because he was tired of butting heads with Bobby Kotick. TMNT Shredder's Revenge Radical Reptiles DLC is free and out now. Age of Mythology Retold Immortal Pillars has been announced. StarCraft Remastered and StarCraft 2 are coming to Game Pass on November 5th. Furry Friends are coming to Fallout 76, so you'll get dog and cat companions in Fallout 76 for your shelters. Mana games are coming to Xbox today on Game Pass, along with Final Fantasy Pixel remasters, which are also now available. Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver 1 and 2 Remastered have been announced and are coming December 10th. And lastly, Dynasty Warriors Origins gets a release date of January 17th.
Some good stuff in there. Derek, Ubisoft. Yeah. I don't even know what they're doing over there.
We're getting a Splinter Cell TV show before we're getting another game. Like, dude, I saw that and immediately sent it to you because I'm just like, Zach will lose his mind.
Yeah, I was really ticked off when you sent that to me. I was just like, I just want a new Splinter Cell game. I know they don't sell amazing.
Yeah.
Like, a couple million, but hey.
But if they're willing to keep Beyond Good and Evil 2 alive, like, come on, guys.
Exactly. It's like, stop wasting money. Put something, because every time I talk to somebody that plays games, that they want a new Splinter Cell.
Right. You be going real soft.
Yeah. Now, my question, Derek, since we're getting 2 samurai games next year,
Yeah.
How do you think Ghost is going to demolish Shadows? Because in my mind, we're going to get Shadows, and then people are going to be like, I could just wait for Ghost, though.
Right.
Because if you only have enough money to buy one game, which it's getting
Most people
harder and
do.
harder, you know, like that's why Game Pass is still a really good deal.
Right.
It's like, well, I can only buy one full price game.
Well, and so think about it, right? Because like they announced Ghost, and then I think it was either the same day or the next day they delayed Shadows. So think about it this way, right? Because the story tells itself. Outlaw sold softer sales than they even expected, and because of that, and because this company is such in a slump that they just keep going, losing money, and keep going, and they have these big quadruple A games that they overproject for, and they underwhelm vastly, that they are just like pretty much like chickens with their head cut off, just trying to scramble, trying to find some sense of sanity. And so they're like, we can't mess up on Shadows because people have waited for this for so long, and we can't come out to another dud. Delay it 4 months, and then let's give it some life and see if we can just polish. Then Ghost of Yotei gets announced, and it's like, dang it. But now the CEO came out and said, supposedly, like, oh, there's room, there's space for both of them. Like, are you sure about that? Are you sure about that?
It's going to be very similar, and like
Ghost,
I know,
like even if it's on par with Tsushima, it's going to take Assassin's Creed lunch money.
Yeah, 100%. And Z brings up a good point. A rule of thumb is to buy a Ubisoft game on sale, not online launch for full price.
Right, like just wait a month and it'll be on sale like half off already. But to your point, it's like why knowing like, yes, Ghost doesn't have a release date, has a release year. We can assume like we speculated, probably somewhere between summer and fall of next year. Shadows has an immediate release date. Now, yes, it is the first one out the gate, but knowing people who played Tsushima and love Tsushima, and knowing what they're going to get with Yotei, like you said, we'll easily look at this and be like, I'll just wait.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm going to play a stealth samurai game, I'm going to play the one that does it better lately. Like that's out Ubisoft lately. So why would I spend $70 on a medium and I hope it's good, because everyone's been waiting for this feudal Japan Assassin's Creed game. I do hope it's good. Don't get me wrong. But let's call a spade a spade. Why spend $70 on a potentially mediocre samurai game, which has garnered a lot of controversy over its dual protagonists, when I could just wait for one that's a singular protagonist in a huge set on just as big a setting, with a more fleshed out, more beautiful world, with probably a better story, and from a game that its predecessor did gangbusters and knocked it out of the park. And I know it's the same company. It's going to do just as well. It's not muddled. It's not in turmoil. It's not in flux.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, why would I not wait and buy the more stable option than Shadows? You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you can smell desperation.
Oh, yeah.
I mean? You can smell desperation, and that's what it feels like, with Shadows. And I was excited to see it and everything, but it's like, now I have the option to get Ghost in the same year.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be very interesting to see.
I mean, even if Shadows had stuck to its guns, right, and still released November, people would have forgotten about it even before Yotei. Like the moment they announced Yotei, even if Shadows had come out this year, people have already forgotten about it.
Yeah.
And be like, all right, well, like I think it still would be the same. It's like, all right, I can wait another year. I can wait till Yotei comes out.
Yeah.
Or at least wait till spring when tax season comes around and be like, oh, this Shadows will be on sale by then. I could buy it at 50% off. So
yeah.
And to Z's point, it's like Sucker Punch controlled Ubisoft by releasing it in March. Imagine the meltdown at Ubisoft headquarters with that. If they really wanted to troll them, though, in all honesty, they could release it the same day.
Yeah, they could. I want to make a video on like how to save Ubisoft. I feel like I can come up with a plan to save Ubisoft, but we're not going to talk about that tonight because we've got 3 questions that we're going to answer from earlier in the show that our awesome viewers submitted. And we're glad that you're here. We're glad that you submitted these. Z asked, do you guys think multiplayer is better than single player experience? I feel game studios use it to make money and hence ignoring making a rather compelling game / story. And
so I'm of 2 mindsets. So to kind of bury the lead here for Z's question, right? We are both single player story guys, like because of our lifestyles, because of our work, because of just how we consume our games. We want to spend our hard-earned money and our time by enjoying a well thought out, crafted story that entertains us and keeps us wanting to turn on our consoles and give us a reason to just keep on playing the game. Hence the Ghost game, hence God of War, hence Horizon. You know, like we could just go on and on and on. But that's not to say in this day and age, because it all comes down to preference and it all comes down to taste. There are multiplayer games are here to stay. Like obviously the peak of it was like battle royales with Fortnite, Warzone, and Apex. And yes, do I like the idea of just playing the same thing over and over again and having like just doing the same missions and same like objectives? No, but I also see the value in multiplayer games because if you get a good squad, or not even a good squad, if you just get a group of your friends that you can just screw around with and have a great time, like it's still a good water cooler moment at work. It's like, yeah, my buddy and I, like he did this crazy 360 no scope. It was legit. Like it won us the match, all this, like stuff like that does make multiplayer games worth it. But again, you have to rely on people. Now, where single player games, you just have to be told a good story to keep wanting to come back. Because also with the big thing with multiplayer games is like perfect example, Destiny 1, right? Played it religiously for like maybe 4 or 5 months, then dropped off, never went back and touched it, not in any of the DLCs. And that's where you falter because you can only play the same thing, even with a good group of friends, you can only play the same game several times without it getting boring and repetitive and then just waiting for new content. And yes, when it does drop, you get some people back in, but maybe not everybody. So that's the thing, whereas like once you fall off, you don't ever go back to it. So whereas single player games, you play it, you consume it, you can go back and repeat it and enjoy the experience all over again, especially when there's a sequel announced and it's like, hey, let me go relive this. Let me go relive Ghost of Tsushima in all its glory and then get ready and get myself prepped for Yote.
Yeah. We're definitely single player first here. Now to say that is kind of an understatement because I love Halo.
Fair.
I played.
You spent some time in Infinite, bro.
Yeah, I like, and even the other games, but yeah, like it takes a very specific multiplayer for me to get into, and it's also the people, because we would play Halo Infinite on the channel almost every week with a squad, and it was fun. Like even playing by myself, it was fun, but playing with other people that's the only thing. And my choice of entertainment, majority of my life has always been video games, like over movies, over TV shows, all of that. Like video games have been there, and then books, and then anime. But like it's such a good way to get a good story, and it's interactive. And usually the stories in multiplayer games, like Call of Duty used to have really good stories, but then they just kept getting worse and worse and worse because they found that, even one of them didn't even have a story. Black Ops 4 didn't have a story at all. So it's like it gets to that point and everything, but that's why we're huge fans of Sony, because they really, until Jim Ryan came around, they really valued storytelling, and they're getting back to that. But then you could even look at, Nintendo, like, they're not heavy on the cinematic part of it or whatever,
Right.
but like they still do really good at telling a story.
Correct.
Z says, me too. Single player is a relaxing experience, kind of like fishing. Yeah. Call of Duty fell off for me after World War II. Enemy were bullet sponges, and it was not all that. I'm trying to remember. That was the one where they were like trying to get it where it's like you would see the like in multiplayer, it's like, oh, you'd see their loadout and they would try to get you to buy it. They were like trying to do that.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Now, World at War, that was a freaking good Call of Duty. That was so good. Oh man. Escape. This is your submitted question, off topic for later, but will we get a Black Myth Wukong physical release? So Black Myth has done really well, and we did get the answer. I know this is not the question. We did get the answer why Black Myth is not working on Xbox. I don't know if you saw that this week.
No, I didn't.
So apparently with Xbox's RAM, some of it runs at a certain speed, and it's like 8 or 10 gigs of RAM runs at a higher speed, and then the rest of it runs at a slower speed. And PlayStation, on the other hand, all of it runs at the same speed, so it's more stable. So that's why Black Myth is not working on Xbox at the moment. Now, to Escape's question that she asked, I think we will see a Wukong physical release.
Correct.
I think it will be probably next year before we see that, because again, Wukong has sold crazy numbers on Steam and PlayStation. People really, really enjoy it. I don't think it's a priority, to be honest, because again, physical games are not the huge mover and shaker that it used to be in the industry. I think the priority for Game Science, that's the developer of this, I think their focus is improving the game that's out right now and then getting it working on Xbox. And then we'll see a physical release sometime in 2025. You agree, Derek?
I agree too. So yeah, I think spring is a nice little release window that they'll do.
Yeah. All right, last question of the night. Z says, Civ 7 thoughts with them going humankind route. I'm not 100% sure what you're talking about there, to be honest. I do what I've seen of Civ 7. I'm looking it up while we're here. I really am excited for it. I'm really excited for Civ 7.
Yeah.
Let me see.
I'm trying to remember what humankind is. Is it what? Was it that BC game where you evolve as a monkey man or a caveman? No, it can't be.
No. I don't know. Okay, we're getting with Civ 7 evolving. I think it's cool. I think it's cool that we could get, it changing and all of that. Like, I haven't played a Civ since 4, I want to say.
Yeah.
But I think it's a cool way to be able to do that and like see where you could go, because I'm watching a little trailer over here while we chat. But yeah, I think instead of just being tied to like one kind of civilization, you could develop and change throughout it. That way it's not just like, oh, everything looks Greco or whatever.
Right.
I think that's pretty cool. Derek's a huge Civ fan. You can tell.
Oh yeah. Number one.
I mean, it's like people play as Rome and suddenly you're Germany in era 2. That's off-putting. Okay, like I could see the issue with that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm wondering, like, does it change because of the choices that you make, or is it could you stay Rome the whole time? Like I'm fine with like the culture growing, but like I would want it to be like, if we're in Rome, I would want it to become like Italy or whatever. Like it would actually develop into that country. I don't want to like just turn into some random country because of a choice that I made or whatever. So yeah, guys, that has been an awesome show. It's been a long one, and we hope that you enjoyed it, because I definitely enjoyed it. Derek, did you enjoy it?
I certainly did, sir.
Man, we got to talk about Ghosts. We got to talk about so many great games we ate this week as gamers, y'all. And I'm excited. Saturday, 11 a.m. Central Time. We're going to be live over on patreon.com/nerdcave for our awesome Patreon members over there. So join us, go find a tier that fits you the best over there. Support us so we can do more awesome shows just like this one. We'll be live on Saturday at that time. Come and be a part of it. It's going to be a fantastic time. We're going to be talking about Demon Slayer. We're going to be talking about Rurouni Kenshin. We're going to be talking about so many cool things about anime. So if y'all want to eat on some anime, it's going to be a great night. Guys, thank y'all for being here. Z, Michael, Escape, and everybody else. Thank y'all so much. And make sure to stay safe. This has been Zach.
And Captain Orion Drake.
Y'all have a blessed week. Bye-bye.